Okay, it's gonna work eventually. I know it. Alright. I think we're live, finally. Showing me is live. Alright, finally. Had a power outage earlier. I was in the middle of doing laundry and all of a sudden I was like, oh hey, power went out. It was only out for about 10 minutes, so it wasn't that big a deal. But I don't know what. Guy is annoying.
Whatever.
Here's Adam on DSP again.
That way, yes, it's personal information, but nobody can use it. You can't use a closed bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he
so
didn't have to
there's
do
your
any of
proof.
that. He didn't have to do any of that. We
You're
weren't
right.
asking for bank account
Greg,
numbers.
how's it going?
That's too personal.
You're
He
right.
was
But
asking
that's what
he
I did.
privately emailed a screenshot of his fucking game. And he didn't want to do that because it would expose your family. No, it fucking wouldn't, you dude. Shut the fuck up. he and then he kept saying like, well, for me to actually prove that this screenshot would be mine, I have to show the linked accounts and show the linked emails. And it's like, Craig did not ask for that. You're conflating this shit in his. How many times has he replayed our interview in his head? Countless. How many times have I replayed it? 0. I don't want to fucking relive that shit. I don't fucking care about DSP. Guaranteed, I'm living rent-free in that fucker's head.
You know it.
You know what I think is really funny? Is that we didn't really know who DSP was at all. Like, Craig wasn't all that familiar with him when you're like, yeah, I'm gonna interview him. And we're like, yeah, who's that? And he thinks that we were the ones to make him out look like a bad guy. Like, dude, we didn't know who the fuck you were.
You're
No,
100%
Craig made a
right.
good point. Craig watched the videos that he asked him to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my side of everything. I want you to watch that. And guess who watched it? Craig.
Darkwing, how's it going? Badlands Chugs, never heard of it. Ooh, bending pins in a motherboard, never good. Oof. Hate when that happens, right? Anyways, he was bitching in this chat. Hey, man, what's a funny story? I had a great idea for Zelda short all lined up. No, the person who makes your shorts had an idea lined up for you. Kino, how's it going? Yeah, the person who makes your shorts had an idea lined up. It was me trying to fly with that metal bird glider thing, but it disappeared in front of my death. I said a bad word the entire time. YouTube wouldn't allow it in a short, so I couldn't use it. It's pretty stupid. You can't use swears at all in shorts, and it does ruin them. Well then, don't curse all the time, DSP. Just saying. Knuckles, how's it going? 15 bottles of Dr. Pepper, 2 liter, 20 ounce. Although that reminds me, I got a nice cold can of strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper waiting for me in my fridge. That's insanely stupid as there's ridiculous amounts of monetized media with swears in it. On YouTube, that's a huge no-no.
That was so sick. That's awesome. That was so
I'm gonna
sick.
use that. But DSP, a rated R movie having curse words in it. Oh, well, they said bad words the entire time during the movie. Well, what was it? It was a rated R movie. So it was rated 17 and older. So you had to be 17 or older to watch the movie. A YouTube short is not done like that. A YouTube short is just on YouTube. You're 5, you're 15, you're 25, doesn't matter. You can get on YouTube and watch a short. So they don't want you cursing that much in a short because it can be blocked like a movie is when it's rated R. 5-year-old wants to watch a rated R movie and his parents is buying the ticket, well, he's not going to be able to watch it. 10 cans, 1 cup, and it took him less than a minute? Holy crap. Of course, first thing he talks about is money. Of course, we're out of it. I'll talk about it on the show today. Good topic. Oh, they made it incredibly tough to monetize anything. They had an issue where people were posting stuff that wasn't kid friendly, but they had it under kid friendly. They were posting stuff that wasn't advertiser friendly. They were posting it as advertiser friendly. And so YouTube had to crack down on that. How? It's amazing how just like the simplest things in life is just over his head. I might post something, then I'll use the restroom. Why didn't you go to the bathroom beforehand? I'm not a jinx. Hello. So FYI, not only are you a secret hater who is going to charge back all contributions once they hit 1K, you're also working with Secret Limited and Keemstar. So you should know the latest from the crazes out there. Won't even insist they talk with you on Discord every night. God, now that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious if it actually came out like that. I mean, Keemstar would have the bankroll for that. Keemstar would be like, hey, we're gonna fuck with DSP because he fucked with me. You're gonna give him $150 a stream, every stream, so he starts the best streak. And let's say at $1,500, you pull out the rug from under him and charge back everything. Ooh, Keemstar interviews OIC. Maybe that's what OIC got all that money. Keemstar's like, hey, I'm gonna pay you $5 grand to do an interview with me. Alright. What'd you do with the $5 grand I gave you? Was whatever's on you. All employees, another song not made by him. Oh, that'd be a great anime gun. I was like, well, what do you do with the money after he got paid for by King? Well, he immediately gave all of it to DSP. Well, it was his money once he got it. He can do whatever he wants with it. All employees. All employees. By all employees, he means his dent heads. Except they gotta pay him. That's amazing how this is my business, but everyone pays him. He doesn't pay anyone else. I say Panda's my number one. If it's Panda, holy shit, that'd be amazing. It's John Rambo and Howard or Howard, I guess. I don't think Rambo would. I think Rambo would avoid it, but I think Howard would be the kind of guy like, you know what, that guy shit on me for years. And before, during, and after, fuck it, I'm gonna get back at him. I can definitely see Howard being willing to do it, especially if you pay him. Oh, apparently I heard that he got banned from DoorDash. He's now using Cat's DoorDash account because he got banned from DoorDash because he was a dick to everyone. Which, if true, would be hilarious. I say you drop 10 grand in someone's lap, they're gonna be willing to talk. employees. Oh, employees. Come to the platform and then pay me. Me. Oh, if we're your employees, aren't you supposed to be paying us? No, that's not how it works. Find out when he started talking to her, if she was 17 or not. When he started talking to her. You're behind the scenes of like what actually happened during the medical issue when he said they should just let you on the side of the road with a pill. Those would be my two big things. Jedi Survivor. Who knows? By the time I actually get on to playing Jedi Survivor, it might actually be patched and fixed completely.
Thugs on the floor. We got thugs on the floor. Thugs on the floor. We got thugs on the floor. Shoot them in the face because it's thugs on the floor. Thugs on the floor. We got
Not true. Oh, someone it was true.
in the face because it's thugs.
Oh, you weren't the only one posting that. There was a couple people posting it.
Beat 'em with the gun.
Oh yeah, when he woke Panda up. Guys, she's sick, but I need Din, so I'm gonna go wake her up. Like, that was an incredible moment. Like, did he seriously wake you up while you were sick to make him Din? Please tell me you caught on everything. I've only seen bits and clips of it, and someone posted a clip of it on Twitter, which I played earlier. Hilarious, love it. I was on the floor. Jumping in the face, this is on the fucking floor. Yeah, last night was crazy. Not fall asleep, even after taking a couple sleeping pills. Woke up. Let's see, according to my watch, I woke up, I think 5 times last night. Yep, 5 disturbances last night. Yay. Not sleep at all. What they really did on their vacation is like, at every vacation video, we see that he brought movies, he brought gin, but did he bring condoms? Like, did he tap that ass? No, he was too busy playing mobile games on his phone to do anything with me. Kramer, how's it going? Shout out Kramer. In fact, there it is. Yeah, I'll post that. Shout out Kramer in a second. That Adam on DSP link or video clip that you got on there is awesome. I ain't no dent. Oh, apparently, Stuttering Craig showed the emails. Ooh, nice.
I don't know where to go here. I'm gonna do this. Go straight. What is this? Go right.
Oh, it's already on HBO Max now? Nice.
Go here. I'm gonna do this. Go straight. What is this? Go right. I don't know where to go here. I'm gonna do this. Go straight. What is this? Go right.
That's how you don't parent.
Go straight.
Oh,
What is this?
oh, dude, shut up, Steve. Just posted this video on DSP talking about his mommy doing his hair until he was 17. And the very next day claiming, no, that's not what I said. And then having the clip of, yeah, when my mom brushed my hair this way until I was about 17. It's like, so your mommy was brushing your hair, that's why you had that weird hairline, huh? And the very next day when people call him out on it being a little bitch. Like, really? You were 17 and your mommy was still doing your hair? No, that's not what I said. Why would he value your time, dude? It's all about me. Me. How disappointed are you and your son? That the only long-time job he ever had was a job that you got him, and then the second he retired, he was immediately fired because he's a piece of shit. A divorce arc would be hilarious. People are saying that he's acting a lot like he did when Panda left, which I was not around for Panda leaving. I showed up during the Escort Saga. That's when I discovered DSP, was during the Escort Saga. Watching like GTG and David Davidson. Shout out David Davidson and GTG, the Pup in the Shrimp Suit. Well, we gotta go about a month. If we go a month without hearing anything of, guys, she broke this. Guys, my wife broke that. Guys, my wife broke everything again. Ooh, who is this? Ah, come on, guys, give me money. Well, I don't know if until like the actual divorce goes through, because it could just be talks of getting divorced or getting a lawyer involved. So he's in his chair, he's at his computer, but he won't start the stream. Too busy stalling. Dude, pet your cat. Why are you smacking your cat? That's weird. Oh, if Keemstar could play them the Wolverine rant. Can you imagine? Alright, well, before I do this interview, here's a video of him bitching about how much he hates you guys because you didn't buy him a Wolverine toy. Mind you, he was 38 when he made this rant. I could probably do that after I get done with the stream. I'm currently watching Heaven's Lost Property on Crunchyroll. It's not very good. It's definitely one of those, I just want this shit to end already. Jinx, 99% is OIC. Because his very first message in chat was, I am totally not OIC, I swear, wink wink. Here's a bunch of money. Like, well, that's a weird thing to post. Like, if you were supposed to be a new whale, how would you know about OIC?
Every fucking person on these maps has dual shotties. Yeah, dual shotty that cocksucker.
Like, how would you know about OIC unless you were OIC and you would just, especially if you just showed up for the first time?
Come here, motherfucker, huh? You fucking want some bitch? Fucking want some bitch? Huh? Come here, motherfucker, huh? You fucking want some bitch? Fucking want some bitch? Huh? Come here, motherfucker, huh? You fucking want some bitch? Fucking want some bitch? Huh? Come here, motherfucker, huh? You fucking want some bitch? Now I'm pissed. I spawn, I die. I spawn, I die.
I spawn, I die.
I spawn, I die.
How about you start the stream? You start the stream. Yes, it is Darkwing.
Oh, that's a grill.
But when I was watching, like, alright, so it's like Chobits mixed with Oh My Goddess, and I swear Ghost Stories. Why Ghost Stories? Then I realized the voice of Leo from Ghost Stories is the main character's voice. Like, that's why I'm getting Ghost Vibe stories from this. Holy shit, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is watching my video.
I can't stop. Won't stop. Don't know how to stop. I can't stop killing them.
Exactly, Phantom immediately raises suspicions.
Don't know how to stop. I can't stop killing them. I can't stop. Won't stop.
It's not exactly harem anime.
I can't stop.
Again, it's more like Ah My Goddess or Chobits than a regular harem show. Tenchi Muyo, they might do a movie, I thought I heard. But it was one of those like, oh, here's rumors that this person and that person that were working on the original show are seen in the studio together. Are they working on a movie? But it could be a completely different anime that they're working together on.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's definitely not for everyone. And I was looking, what was I looking for? An anime that had heaven in it, and that popped up. I'm like, I'll check it out. And it's like, the first episode was pretty actually interesting, where you know, all the wishes get messed up. But then every episode after that has like nothing to do with any of it. Like, so you start off with this for the first episode, and then every episode has absolutely nothing to do with what was dropped in the first episode. Like, he wants world domination, but since no one would actually see him as leader, she just eliminated everyone from the planet. Like, so it's gonna be one of those, oh, you wish for this and you get what you wish for, but not the way you think. I want this person to love me. And it's like, all right, well, we're gonna have to kill you. What? Everyone's loved when they're dead. No, 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 don't kill me, don't kill me. Why are you trying to kill me? No. You're not wrong, Swedish drummer. I thought that's where the show was gonna go, where it's gonna be every episode was gonna be him doing a wish, the wish going sideways. Let's see. He's supposed to start at 45, do 15 minutes of music, so he's now 9 minutes late. Been playing his music for 9 minutes longer than usual. I really thought it was like, oh, this could be interesting. Where, all right, we're gonna get a wish. It's gonna go sideways. How does he correct it? He makes a wish. It goes sideways. How does he get out of it? And that's it's been nothing like that since episode 1. We are getting a new Tenchi Muyo anime? Huh. I am not ready for the stream. I'm ready for this to be over, because holy shit. But I can't wait. Because last night he was doing a Lane Emanuel band fury. Because of the Side Scrollers interview.
Show, we're going to talk a little bit about
Oh, he doesn't have an intro
naughty
anymore.
words and monetization on YouTube. Plus, we got some news, updates, and more. See you in a sec.
I guess he does have an intro still. Like, this intro is not that bad. It's just he had nothing to do with it. Someone else made it for him. Not created by Phil Bonnell. You had absolutely nothing to do with it. Like putting my name on Endgame. Avengers Endgame, created by me. Oh, wait a minute. I had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Podcast. Today is Monday, the 15th of May, 2023. And, of course, I'm DSP, and I welcome you here to the show. I hope that you're all doing well as we begin a new streaming week. Well, actually, it's more than halfway through the streaming week for me, but as you know, starting off kind of a new week of school and work for everyone, I'm sure. Good stuff coming today. Great gameplay variety. I'm actually excited that we're flipping the games over because, after you play 1 or 2 games a lot, you want a little bit of a break. And in regards to Zelda, I feel like we're just scraping the surface, and today we're actually going to get into the meat of it. So I'm very excited to be playing Zelda as the main stream.
You've been playing it for
today,
hours.
One important thing. In just a second here, as we start talking about the gaming schedule for the week, you guys are going to be a major part of determining what we play tomorrow, because I'm going to do a poll overnight where you guys are going to vote on the game for tomorrow. And depending on how you vote will actually determine the order of games that I play both Tuesday and then when I get back from my break on Thursday and Friday.
You've been playing Zelda for over 7 hours. How are you just now getting into the meat of
this
it?
Week to, controlling the first early stream. So that's kind of cool. We'll talk about in a second. Another thing I definitely want to talk about today is monetization on YouTube, how it's changed over the years, and why content creators have had to change their philosophies and strategy when it comes to making content.
He's mad he couldn't say just a bunch of curse words during a short.
One of the things that I've been trying to do for you guys is make fun YouTube shorts.
You have not done anything
YouTube
with
shorts
it.
are a way to
Someone
highlight
else
funny
has
moments
made
from
them.
streams and maybe get someone to check out a playthrough that maybe they wouldn't have previously. For example, I made 2 different Star Wars Jedi Survivor shorts recently that I think highlighted some of the problems with the game and people found them funny. But the problem with YouTube shorts is that they don't allow for any naughty words. I'm serious. If you put a naughty word into a YouTube short, it's instant demonetization and essentially it gets kicked out of any chance of being featured in the algorithm. So there's no way that you're ever going to get any kind of traction out of the short.
So then stop cursing so much.
That YouTube has dramatically changed from how it used to be. And we're going to talk a little bit about that this morning because you may have noticed over the last few years, some of your
dick and
favorite
balls
content
all the
creators
time.
have changed the way that they actually make content. All right? Not me, but most others. I've distinctly noticed this in the last few years.
Ooh,
the way that
good
people are talking
point,
and
Ira. Would
acting
you
on
really want
YouTube
credit
has
for that?
distinctly changed because people want to make money. And that's kind of interesting because the way we got here is literally the polar opposite. We'll talk about that. Anyway, but also we got an update on some gaming news in regards to the whole Activision Blizzard deal going on. So we'll talk about all that stuff, all right? But I hope you're all having a good Monday morning. And I hope that you're all ready for some fun today. Full gaming. As you can see, Jasper is in the office today. And he will be available to kind of hang out for this stream if he feels like it. It's up to him. So let's see. Right now he's playing with my
I wanted
charge
to point
cable
this
from
out.
my neck
here as
phones,
well, so you can see
which
better.
is fine. He doesn't like do anything. He's
Is
moving
Zelda
around.
1,
I just hope he doesn't
3,
start chewing
2,
wires. That's when we get a problem.
Podcast daily.
But yeah,
Wrap
he'll be available
4,
to join us
5,
for Zelda today.
Podcast daily wrap 6.
It is incredibly hot in Washington State today. Yesterday we hit record highs of 90 degrees, and today we are slated to be even hotter. It is the hottest it has ever been in recorded history in this state today. Right now it's around 84 outside, but it's not even full sun. It's supposed to get into the low 90s, so I have all the air conditioners in the house bumping. The house is cool because we got them on early. But you're going to hear it. You can probably hear it now. It's actually not on full blast because I had it on for like an hour before I started streaming, so the room is very cool. But as it warms up,
the
you might hear
website,
it going
it is
on and
82
off
degrees.
Again. Nothing I can really do. I know it's abnormally early for me to be doing this. Normally, I wouldn't have the air conditioner on, hopefully, until like June, July, but there's nothing I can really do about that. The heat
It is
has
actually
come
82
so early
degrees
this
where he's
year.
at.
It was actually interesting. I read a news article. Well, a news story, I should say. Not really an article, but a news story
Same dark
from our
Wing.
local news
I taste her all over
out
the place when
here
it comes to anime.
that as of, around 10 years ago, only 20% of the homes in Washington State where I live, this is the Pacific Northwest of the United States, this region, only 20%, that's 1/5 of homes, had air conditioning.
No
But
death to
we have had such an incremental, exponential increase in heat over the last 10 years
Exponential?
that every
Please
home
show me the math
that's
that is
built now
exponential,
has air
DSP.
conditioning installed by default. And it's pretty crazy that the climate's changing that fast. But again, I was house hunting in 2014, and when in 2014 I was told, oh, it's always rainy and cool out here. People complain all the time that it's this rainy state, and that's why a lot of people don't like being out here. They say they're depressed because the weather is so cool and rainy all the time. And then I moved out here, and it was like immediate hot summer, like every year. It was giant hot summer. I was like, people said this didn't exist, but it has. Every year since I lived here, it's like the hot weather followed me from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States.
You didn't get...
So it is what it is, but I'm prepared for it. And I hope that it doesn't hinder the streams too much.
DSP,
I mean, I think
you're
you
not
guys are
living
getting
in
used to it
Texas.
now. The air
You're not living in
conditioner's kinda been on
Arizona.
for
You're
about a
not living
week.
in New Mexico.
I think you're kind of...
You're not living in Nevada. You're living in the Pacific Northwest.
It sucks. I like having fresh air. I like having nice wind blowing in from the window. There's not much I can do
Guys,
about
it's
that.
82 degrees
Okay?
out. Great, open the window. No, I need
That's
5
correct. I
ACs
caused the
blasting
climate
at
change. I
full
moved and I
tilt,
brought the climate
guys.
change with me. That's
5
absolutely
ACs at
correct.
all
Most of my
times.
greenhouse gases coming out of my derriere, of course. Anyway, so where to begin
Holy
today?
shit, can you imagine
we have a
needing
lot to
5
talk
ACs
about,
blasting
all
all the time because it's
Just
82
a quick
degrees?
reminder, ladies and gentlemen, so far
Oh,
this
he'd kill
week has
himself if
gone
he was
really
living in
well
Texas.
when it comes to
I'm sorry, he
progress in
Minecraft
all the games
himself.
I'm playing, chill vibes on the streams, keeping drama out of the streams. Yes, there have been a couple attempts of idiots.
Hey, actually, he's doing
to try
roofing
to
work.
come
He's
in
sitting
here
in an
and derail
air-conditioned
stuff,
office.
and I have handled it, as well as the moderators. I want to say thank you to the moderators who have always also helped with this week. We don't want any bullshit from the outside of this stream coming in. This is a place where we're supposed to focus on positivity and fun with gaming.
Supposed to be positive,
and a good social
guys.
interaction. I don't
me,
care about
me,
any of the
we,
nonsense,
me,
white
money.
noise of idiots from outside of here doing stuff. I don't even want to know about it. Last night we had direct derailment. People trying to come in and derail my shit. I said, shut up. We don't care. And I continued on, and we made great progress in the Oblivion Shivering Isles DLC because I was able to stop that and not get derailed. So that was a good thing, and now we're almost done with the DLC. So anyway, let's keep that going. And in addition to that,
Definitely an echo
obviously, I
chamber.
should bring up the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, we have had 8 straight streams this week. That is 8 straight streams where we have hit all of my support goals. That is unprecedented.
goal.
I don't think we've done that since 2020 and the Vest streak. 8 straight freaking
All
streams.
because of
That's
Jinx,
nuts,
aka
okay?
OIC.
And obviously, I want to say thank you to anyone who has hung out, engaged, participated, supported in any way in this week, this streaming
It's literally
week.
been
Obviously,
one
this was
person
not
the entire
something that I
time.
was expecting, nor is it something that I'm
One
expecting
person.
to continue forever. And at any moment it can end, and that's fine. But it's cool that we're keeping this momentum going. But as you know, I've learned from my mistakes 3 years ago.
You've learned
When we
nothing.
first had a streak like this. I made the streams a lot about that. We had a Vest streak counter down there. We're not doing any of that. Because sadly,
So you're trying to hide the fact you're
when this
making all this
happens,
money.
and it becomes all about that, that's literally derailing of all the content of the stream. I mean it. Like, what
So
ends
you're
up
hiding the
happening
Vest
is,
streak. You're hiding the
everyone
fact
just
you
wants to
broke
focus
150
on
bucks.
that and doesn't care
Every
about the
stream
content of the
intense.
stream. And that's not what the stream is about. It's not.
That's all the stream is about, is money.
If this stream right now I'm doing right now ended up being really slow, that's fine. It's okay. Had
Oh,
a
it's
great
not
week
you
so
throw
far.
a fit.
It's not the end of the world. The sky isn't falling.
Or you'd use it
It's
as an
not
excuse
about
to
that.
drop
It's
Zelda.
not. It's about making fun content, meaningful content for an audience that appreciates the content I put out for them. It's not about making a ton of money every stream. It's ridiculous. Now, if it gets that level of support, I mean, that's outstanding, and I'm incredibly grateful. So thank you to everyone who has been keeping this up. And it's funny because, you know, some people have been saying
about the money.
that,
Yeah, he's not counting the best streak,
but
but
the funny part
it's
is,
8 streaks in a
yesterday
row.
we actually hit all of my support goals on the first stream before that particular person even contributed at all or showed up to the stream. They showed up later, and it was like, whoa.
Won't even say their name,
all
huh?
the goals. So this is awesome, and, you know, this kind of momentum is good. And here's why. We're about to head into a really epic month. I feel like the month of June is going to be very good. Why? Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, all the new game events and releases all coming out at once. You're going to have things like Summer Game Fest, the Microsoft press conference with the Starfield event. There's going to be a Sony event. There's probably going to be Nintendo, and all these games are going to start releasing all their
I don't know. I
information.
think maybe
And then
OIC
later on in
was
the month, it's Final Fantasy 16.
what you call
So there's
it.
a lot of huge high-profile
Crypto
things
bro.
happening in June. To head into a month like that with good momentum is a great thing, rather than being slow and stagnant.
wants to drop
things
Zelda
are
so
actually
badly,
pretty good on
but he
streams
also
right
wants the
now.
money.
When we get to attendance, we get to engagement, and again,
Game
this
all
week's
guys,
support
Zelda's
has
not making me any
been
money, so I gotta
absolutely
drop
outstanding. So keep that
it.
momentum going, heading into June. That's great. Now, again, not the end of the world if we don't, but I just want to take the time out to say thank you. You guys have been amazing this week. You absolutely have been, and this is in every regard too. Even though I say, oh, we're hitting our support goals, and obviously that's mentioning like a tip level. We had a tremendous amount.
What I love is
membership.
it took him
gifted
14
memberships, and even
hours to leave
super
the
chats
opening
are up
world
this week.
of
Like, everything is
Star
up
Wars
this
Jedi
week for
Survivor.
some odd reason. I don't know what prompted
It doesn't
it. 'Cause
take
I
that
didn't
long
do
to do
anything
that.
different.
It took him
But
4
I'm
hours to leave
definitely
the
happy and
opening
grateful.
area of
So
Zelda.
Thank you guys so very
It
much
doesn't
for
take
that.
that long, unless you're DSP.
But again, I will reiterate something. That's not what the stream is all about. So if I see people coming in here, okay, and if I see people basically doing things such as completely talking only about that, or even going after and harassing people in the chat who have been supporters this week, I'm not putting up with that.
I don't
It's
want people
not
to talk
allowed.
about James.
People bothering.
You're supposed to talk about
people and
me.
stuff.
Don't
It's
be
not
taking
gonna
away
be,
the
allowed.
spotlight
Already,
from me.
You know, you got to understand these idiots on the internet make up the biggest stuff. So far, here's what I've heard. You ready? This is a secret plot by all of my detractors. It's all a setup. The entire week of support is a complete setup. It's all fake support. Really. It's all fake. It's an evil plan, get this, between Secret Limited, Keemstar, and others. They're all plotting behind the scenes.
Where did Secret Limited
to
come
give
from?
me
That's
good
what I want to
support
know.
This week, and
Where are
then
you
pull
getting
the
Secret
rug out
Limited
from under
from?
me afterward? And it's all because they're making
Secret
an
Limited
in-depth
makes 2, maybe 3
documentary,
videos
and
a
they're talking
year.
about it every night on Discord.
Where are you
They have
getting
this
Secret
secret
from?
Discord group that the detractors are talking on Discord about plotting my downfall and all of this stuff. It's just hilarious. The shit you hear, it's like, what? And the sad fact is, to some extent, you have to believe some of this is probably true. I'm not saying the specifics of people plotting and stuff. I'm just saying there's people who probably actually do this kind of like talking about this shit behind the scenes, and they believe this nonsense. They're nuts. They're fucking nuts. That's how crazy these people are. You know? But to me, I just kind of laugh, you know? And like, whatever. You laugh with it, you're like, dude. And here's the good news. It has nothing to do with my streams, right? Today, we're going to have a great time. We're going to play games. We're going to have fun interactions. We're going to, you know, make progress, have a good time together, and that's what it is all about. It's not about any of the white noise from the outside of the stream. It's funny because people who come here and just chill with me every day have a great time. All the bullshit and drama and nonsense comes from people outside of the stream trying to ride the coattails of what I do on YouTube, and I don't care about them. I don't need to hear about this person's doing this, restreaming this, saying this. Nobody cares. It has nothing to do with me.
If no one cares, why are you talking about it?
Because that's the best course of action at this point.
And why are you
Like I said,
talking about
earlier
it?
this year, I realized pretty much no one on YouTube is interested in giving anyone a fair shake or you know, exposing any kind of truth. What they're into is stirring up drama for personal gain.
So the
So
truth
I'm
about
not
you
gonna be
is you're a
involving
bitch.
myself with any people. We've got, trust me, this month we've got to really focus on the games I'm playing. We have to get as far into Zelda, Star Wars, and Elden Ring as we can and finish up what we can by the end of the month, because when June hits, I'm going to be so busy with Street Fighter and other games, but a lot of Street Fighter, that's got to be the focus. I don't have time for bullshit. I'm not going to be wasting
You might have
on
time
special
for stuff if
streams
you
talking
didn't
about
spend 2 hours
nonsense
on
and
this.
addressing bullshit. I don't care. Let them do their own crap outside of the streams. Let
Can't
them,
leave
oh, but
YouTube.
someone's
Wait,
trying to
expect him to
talk
get
to
a
you.
real
Someone wants
job?
to reach you about this.
Ah,
or that.
that's a
No
good
one gives
one.
a fuck. Me,
He's
the
replaying
least,
Elden
I don't
Ring
care about any of
as a
these
magic
people.
build.
Leave that shit
But
off
he's
the
using
stream.
chat to tell
It's
him
against the
what to do.
rules anyway. As you can see, I got it pinned on the stream. No drama from outside the stream. Let's just have a great time here on the streams together and continue forward positively, right? Sound good? All right. So, that being said, let's jump into our usual business, shall we? Let's talk about the schedule, because today's schedule is interesting because we're going to have a poll.
Yeah, he's still playing Oblivion.
Right?
He's
So
still playing Final
today,
Fantasy V. He's still
it's
playing
going to
Elden
be
Ring.
Zelda,
But he doesn't have time for
Tears
anything
of the
else,
Kingdom,
guys.
continuing on. Of course, I almost said Breath of the Wild. Today's stream will be
You
interesting.
get done
because we're
with
finally
Oblivion,
going
you'd
to
have
be
more
able to head into
streams
the
open
true
for
open world of the game.
Zelda.
I thought we were doing that on Saturday night. Come to find out, there was more tutorial Saturday night, and we ended up doing a tutorial, The Depths, which is this underground world and other things. Finally, now we've hit the open world where we can do whatever we want, and we already have a direction. Like, there's a big tower right in front of us we're going to explore, and this tower is going to allow us to open up parts of the map and everything. So that's all we're going to do today is open world exploration, likely hitting up a bunch of the challenge temples, looking for items, looking for map, and hopefully moving towards one of the optional, or not optional, the main story objectives. I believe there's 4 points on the map that they're telling you to move towards. So I'll try to head in one of those general directions today. Now, how far will we get in 3 hours? I don't know. People are saying this game is 100 hours long. So in 3 hours,
Well, then start
you
playing
think,
it
wow,
more.
we'll make progress, but how much progress realistically will we even make? I guess we'll have to see. You know, almost feel like a game this big, it almost feels like everything is just
You're
a drop
getting
in the
Legion of
bucket.
Doom HQ
Like,
spread
very
for
well
bugs.
today, we might
Terrible.
complete 5 temples, get 2 big upgrades, find some optional great weapons and items, and unlock a big part of the map. And it's like, you have completed 1% of the game. Like, right?
Because you play
But
so
I guess we'll
poorly,
see.
DSP.
All right, let's see how it goes. I am excited because,
Hey,
like
his
I said,
podcast is
I'm liking
2
the
hours.
elements of the game.
He plays from.
Although, admittedly,
Well,
one
he
thing I
starts
might
at
do is we already
1:45
talked
p.m.
about, I
ends
might
at 7
skip the
p.m. Eastern.
optional puzzle objective
Yes.
inside of the temples.
3 hours of gaming.
I've
in
done
that.
8 temples so far, and every single one I've done
3
the
hours.
optional objective, and every single one has been a waste of my time. The items in the temples are a joke, like arrows or a stamina elixir, of which you already have 2 because you can craft them at any campfire in the game. So why did I bother doing the puzzle, right? So I guess we'll see how it goes.
Oh, he's bouncing
And,
his leg again.
Hopefully it'll be chill, interactive, fun.
I was watching
since
him.
it'll be wandering in
Yeah, I was
open
watching his
world
arms jiggle. Like, what's his
with
arms
not
jiggling?
really much
I
direction.
know his arms jiggling.
There'll be
He's
ample
shaking his leg
opportunity for
again.
us to relax, to have fun conversation. I want it to be that kind of a stream. And
Guys, I had to
depending on
keep
how
doing
today
shout
goes, may
outs.
determine moving
They were
forward
talking to
how
me. I
often
couldn't talk
play
about this
Zelda
during
as
the
a daytime
game.
stream or not, because if it does cater itself more to a late
Good
night
point,
chill
Greg.
stream,
Nothing's a
maybe
waste of time when
we'll
you're
do
him,
that
'cause
with it. You know
this
what I'm
entire life's a
saying?
waste.
I guess we'll have to see. But anyway, let's see how it goes today as the main stream. Okay.
JELLO.
Then on tonight's late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it
And
will
I
be the
noticed I can't
continuation
see him.
of
It's
Final
like he's
Fantasy
just
V
vibrating.
Remaster. Great playthrough so far.
It's like he's sitting on a vibrating butt plug or something.
I'm actually glad I'm playing this one because this one I know a lot about from my previous playing of it off YouTube. I've never played this as I've been a YouTuber. It's been that long, so it's been like over 15 years since I played the game. And it's fun because the music remixes are great. The graphics are improved, right? The job system is very fun to jump around in. And because it's an old school RPG, again, there's ample opportunity for us to kind of talk and interact and chill rather than worry too much about being hyper-focused on the game. It's a great playthrough. So I'm looking forward to more tonight. If you like old school RPGs or you just like chill, relaxing fun, I hope to see you on the late stream tonight for Final Fantasy V. Okay? Now,
But
let's talk about tomorrow.
Terrible.
ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's main stream is in your hands. And here's
Because he
why.
hates video games.
Right now, I have 3 games that I'm playing. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Elden Ring's Glintstone Magic Run, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. All 3 playthroughs are good in my opinion at this point. Like, we're in good points, they're exciting, interesting. Every time I play them, good advancement. You know, I'm having a good time with it. I don't really mind any of those games tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the power in your hands to determine what game that we play tomorrow. All right? I'm going to make a poll literally right now live here on DSP Gaming. I'm going to head over to the community tab, and I'm going to post up a poll for you guys to vote on what game you want
He's
to
trying
see
to get on playing Zelda, so I
tomorrow's
would
main
vote
gameplay
Zelda.
stream. Now, here's something neat that YouTube has finally done. They instituted a timer for polls, which I can't believe it took them that long. It did take them that long.
You just now notice that
But
DSP?
now you can actually put a timer on a poll. All right. So I'm trying to think how you do it. Let me actually refresh, because I haven't refreshed my page in a while. And I want to make sure that all that stuff is there. So if I go over here, here we are. We're on the community tab. All right. And
I know he hates Zelda, so you gotta vote for Zelda because he hates it. He's trying to get out of playing it. I was waiting.
if I
Guys,
click on
Zelda won
text
overwhelmingly,
poll,
but it must have been the
which is
trolls.
what I want to do, a text poll. Visibility will be public. Okay. I'm trying this now because it's something new they added. Text poll. Okay. So there's going to be 3 options. So far, I don't see anything about timing. But I think once I get ready to post, that's when you can pick your timing. So, which game should Phil play on the first stream for Tuesday, May 16th?
Can we just do the Patreon polls and be like, oh, this was clearly voted by trolls, so I'm not doing it.
Runners.
Like, then why was it? If you don't want to play the game, just don't put it as an option.
Later on in the week. Good luck. So option number 1
True,
will
he
be
hates Nintendo.
Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Option number 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And option number 3, Elden Ring, the Glintstone Magic Run. Now, it says post, but there's an arrow, and if I click the arrow, schedule post. Okay, I don't see a way to make the post close. I'm going to post up the poll and see what happens. So I hit post.
He has no idea what he's doing.
There it is. So the poll is live. And if I click on edit, no, all I could do is delete. So I think they're full of crap. Because YouTube had claimed you were going to be able to put up a timed post.
Let's see how long
that
it takes
should
me to figure this
expire
out.
at a certain time and then go away.
Great post.
That's not
Text
available.
poll.
I just looked. It's not there. So they lied. They claimed
Let's
this new
say
feature launched,
is
and it's not there.
Jinx
Unless they somehow
OIC.
magically hidden it somewhere else, it's not there. Anyway, so that poll is now live on the community tab of DSP Gaming. Please vote. I'm going to have that poll run overnight. And depending on how you guys vote overnight, that'll determine what game we play in the morning. Usually these polls, by the night, the night before, we always kind of know what it's going to be. So I'm curious what you guys are going to vote for. Maybe I'll even check on that by the end of the podcast and see how the voting is going. But again, Zelda, Star
So you can
Wars,
schedule it then.
Elden Ring.
Edit.
So please check it out. Please vote. See, if they had allowed for timed polls, then what I could have done is posted that up and had it be so that, it's only live for exactly 24 hours. So the polling would end during tomorrow's podcast and it's locked in at a finale and that's it. As of now, these polls are endless. They literally just go on forever. And people can continue to vote on them for years unless you delete the post. So,
Well, then just
I don't
delete
know
the
how
fucking
they haven't
post.
figured out that timing on a post would make any sense. Where is the poll? I'm going to say it one more time. Main channel of DSP Gaming. Community tab. There's the post. Right there. There's
Twitter
the poll.
polls.
Please vote. Okay? And it's
That's a
live
good
now.
one.
Please vote for it.
You have to be on
and,
his Twitter.
Let's see what wins. I'm very curious to see what will win and what you guys want to see me play tomorrow. Now, here's how it's going to work. Whatever gets
I'm gonna
first
head over
place
here
is what
real
we're
quick.
playing tomorrow on the first stream. I'm down for whatever you guys vote for. Whatever
No, you're
comes in
not.
second place will be the main stream on Thursday when I get back from my break, because Wednesday is my break off from
community.
streaming this week. And then whatever gets third place will be played on Friday. So the order you vote
Make
will
sure you go over there and
directly
vote for
determine
Zelda, 'cause
the
he
order
hates
of games
Zelda.
that we play this week. Fair enough? Okay. So that is going to be the main
Dictatorship,
stream
how's it
tomorrow
going?
is dependent
We've
on
had a
you.
couple of
But
the
tomorrow
clan
night's
clashes
stream
pop
at
up and then they never go
6:45 p.m.
through.
Pacific time will be the continuation of Oblivion,
Been weird.
Shivering Isles DLC. We are now at the very end of it. Like, we got to the tippity end of the DLC last night, the last part, and then the game's like, oh, look, here's another leg of the quest. We have to go to another cave you've never been to, probably fight more generic enemies, meet another
hopefully
generic
Zelda
person,
wins.
charge up a fucking staff, and then get to the end of it. It's like, this DLC has not been good. I'm just going to be very blatantly transparent with my thoughts here. It's just a boring DLC. I think
You're
that
boring,
the Shivering
DSP,
Isles
that's why
DLC
it's
has
boring.
actually been very poor. It's literally, go here, fight a million generic enemies. Go here, fight a million generic enemies and grab items between them.
So it's Elder
Go here,
Scrolls.
fight a million generic enemies. There's been one quest in the entire DLC.
Yeah, it
that
took
was
about 4
interesting.
hours to leave the
It
opening
was
area.
a conspiracy quest. Where
Took 'em
someone
14
thought that
hours to
someone
leave
was
the
trying
first
to
planet in
conspire
Jedi
against them,
Survivor.
and you had to do a few kind of dialogue challenges and things in order to actually like figure out the end of the quest and what was really going on. That was interesting. literally the entire DLC is go here, fight, go here, fight, go here, fight. Or in my case,
Like an
since
Elder
I
Scrolls
have no
game.
healing items, go here and run past all the enemies. Go here and run past all the
And
enemies.
why don't you have healing items?
And it really seems to be like this is supposed to be a DLC.
Well, you're not able to make
you're
healing
supposed to
potions
play
in that
after
game?
you've beaten the game. People
Yes,
actually
yes, you
explained to me
can.
Shivering Isles came out a year after Oblivion had been released. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So it literally is supposed to be you beat the
We don't know
entire
stars?
game.
Oof.
You've been waiting a year craving for more Oblivion content, and now you get more of the same. I wasn't looking for more of the same. If you take a look at DLCs for games like Fallout or even Skyrim, a lot of that content is just very different from what's the mainline stuff in the game, and that's why I felt it was special and fun. In this case, this DLC is just boring. You know, is there some interesting writing for Shio-Garath? You know, he's kind of a crazy character. Yeah, and it's all right. But a lot of the stuff is just kind of dark and twisted. Oh, look, we're torturing people. Look, we ripped body parts apart, and you're making a Frankenstein monster's gory. I'm like, what is this? Like, this isn't even like the spirit of Oblivion when you really think about it. It's really weird.
It's pretty
Um,
dark story at
But now
times
we're
there,
at the end,
DSP.
finally. I'm like, you know,
I know you
all
don't
we played
understand
it.
that, but
At least
still.
now I could say I experienced it. I wasn't too impressed, but we're going to finish it up tomorrow night, and then we're going to move back into the main storyline of Oblivion, which we're actually nearing the end of. So I figure a few more night streams, and we will actually wrap up the Oblivion playthrough, probably a little over 80 hours, which will be a good length. And quite frankly, after playing
That's what
this game
she
for
said.
about 5.5 months, it is around time to start finishing it up so we can do other things. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really expecting to wrap this up sooner rather than later, which is good because that'll be a night stream opened up to play other stuff. Okay, so I'm off on Wednesday.
You
Thursday,
make your
we're gonna play
schedule.
whatever
You
game
can choose
got
whatever
the
you want to play
second
for late
place in your
stream.
poll. Thursday night will be more Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, and then Friday, whatever game came in third place in the poll will play, and then Friday night will be more Oblivion. Saturday is my weekly react day of DSP versus the internet, and so we will chill over on DSP Reacts, and I'll react to your clips. Now, I did things a little differently yesterday, okay? What I've been doing is every Sunday, I post up the threads over on DSP Reacts on which you can nominate clips, all right? So that you can actually get your clips watched on the show. And channel members are competing for a spot to get on the show, while ultra-level members are guaranteed to be on the show. But here's the
For
thing.
10 seconds,
Every
then you
week,
get
I've
bored
pretty
with the
much
video
been
and you
posting
drop
up
it.
the threads, the community posts at the same time. So what ends up happening is the same people who are around at that time have been jumping on those threads, posting up, and they've been getting their videos watched every week. While we've had groups of people in Europe, for example, who are asleep at that time, and then by the time they wake up and go to post up, it's too late. They don't get their stuff watched, and they've been kind of disappointed.
Womp
Like, man, I'm a
womp.
member, but I never get my stuff watched. It kind of sucks. So
They
what
just
I ended
keep
up
taking the
doing
money,
is
huh?
mixing it up, and yesterday, immediately after the end of my first stream, around 4 p.m. Pacific time, I posted up the community poll, or the community thread, and people started posting then. It was different people. And I was like, oh, this is good, because now people in Europe had a better opportunity to actually get their stuff watched, and I think they did. I think there's a few Europeans for sure who never had their clips watched who are now going to get their clips watched on this week's show because I mixed up the time. So I think I might do this every week. Like 1 week, maybe I'll do it earlier. 1 week, I'll do it later. You know, and I'll do it random, so that way it is kind of, it is still first come, first serve, but it's kind of a random chance. It's not just always the same people every week, all right? So let's see how it works
Come
this
on,
week.
Jasper. Fuck
We
him
get
up.
different people's clips who get watched and go from there, but I think, you know, I was listening to feedback, and I hope that this worked out for you guys, okay? So Saturday's React Day. Saturday
Like a
night,
Dragon
we'll
Nation
continue
clip,
on with late
yes.
night chill stuff, probably more Final Fantasy. And then Sunday is the big day, ladies and gentlemen, because this coming Sunday, less than a week away, it is DSP's Fight and Feast Marathon event. I am very excited.
There's quite a few
for
people
this
from
event.
UK, I'm sure,
It is
that
a
watch
Street
him.
Fighter hype event. I have not consistently played fighting games in a while. The fighting games I've played over the years have literally just been
Check my
retro
analytics.
games,
Oh, wait, what was
because
that?
I felt that sadly modern Street Fighter kind of fell off with Street Fighter V. Thing is, I'm a lifelong fan of Street Fighter. I've always had Street Fighter in my life and as a part of my content until Street Fighter V came out, and then that kind of ruined it for me because I hated the game. But
Because you
Street Fighter
kept getting
4 was
bodied
giant.
in it,
Street Fighter
because you're
4,
a
I was
bitch.
playing for like 2 years consistently.
audience.
I put out so many video series about the game and everything. And Street Fighter 6 is gearing up
2023.
to be a special
I
thing.
got
Looks like
9.6%
there's
of my
great
audience
content
from
for
United
those who want to play the
Kingdom.
game offline single player. There's an insane amount of content for those who want to play the game online.
You're gonna hide
There's
in offline, aren't
classic
you?
controls.
Guys, no, I don't wanna play
simplified,
against other people.
modernized
People
controls.
cheat.
There's all this stuff to explore. All right. So I'm very excited for Street Fighter 6 coming out on June
Come on,
2nd.
Jess, but knock the paintings
So
over.
as a
That'd be
special
hilarious.
way to hype up that launch, I'm doing a special marathon on Sunday, May 21st, where we're going to be doing fighting game stuff all day long here on DSP Gaming. I'll be playing classic Street Fighter games in the 30th anniversary collection. You guys will be voting on the game and the characters that I'll be using as I do highest level AI challenge runs live on stream. In addition, there's going to be some fun tier maker events where we're going to rank things in the Street Fighter and fighting game universes against each other. That's always a good time. There's going to be food because my wife is going to make several recipes out of the Street Fighter cookbook, and I'm going to have those available to snack on and show you the recipe in the book and kind of explore and live taste test. And if you guys want it, which it seems like you do, I'm also going to set up a 30-man over-the-top rope fantasy battle royale in WWE 2K featuring fighting
Wow,
game
I
characters
can't wait
from
for that,
Street Fighter,
DSP.
Mortal Kombat, and Tekken, all of which are going to have new game releases this year. So we're going to see what franchise has ultimate supremacy in the ring. All right, so
And mind you, he
lots of
doesn't
fun
play
stuff.
it.
And,
He literally
and
just sits there and watches it.
on top of all of that, already
I
I
just
have
cannot
something else
imagine
special
just sitting
planned.
there
So,
watching.
a lot of fun stuff happening. On
How are you gonna have a
Sunday, May
game going and you're
21st.
not
It'll
even
be a
gonna
great
play? You're just gonna sit
marathon.
there and watch
I'm sure
it.
we're gonna have a lot of people here. Great opportunity for you to come chill, hang out. And if anyone was thinking of coming and supporting the streams in particular, that day will likely have a lot more people than a standard stream, and so you might want to swing by that day. Okay. Now, one other thing that I haven't really addressed. There is an open beta for Street Fighter 6 this weekend, starting on Friday the 19th, running through Sunday the 21st. And you might say, well, Phil, if you're so hyped for Street Fighter 6, why aren't you playing the beta? Well, there's two really honest answers to that. The first answer is because I'm already doing this event. It's already had this planned before they announced the open beta, and this is more important to me because it's going to be a special variety of fun. It's not just the same game all day. So number one, I already want to go through with this event. I've planned it. I think it's going to be great. But number two, the open beta is literally exactly the same as the two betas they've
So it'd be
already
you
had
getting your ass handed
last
to you
year.
by
They
people,
didn't change
and you don't
anything.
wanna do
They've
that,
outright
so you're
said,
gonna run and
we haven't
hide."
tweaked the gameplay. We haven't added any characters. It's exactly the same as you've already played. So I've already played it twice. I'm not interested in seeing the same 8 characters a third time. And by the way, if you didn't know, people hacked the beta on PC since December and have been playing that beta for 5 straight months. Literally, in this open beta, you're going to see hundreds, if not thousands, of try-hard cheaters who've been hardcore playing those 8 characters for the past 5+ months. And
Oh,
all they're
he's
going to
so
do is body
scared.
everyone. Because they cheated to get unlimited
Yeah, the
access
instant
to this beta
the
they
Street
shouldn't have
Fighter
had.
6 stops
And now
making
they're going
money,
to be
he's gonna
masters of
cry
it, just slapping people
and
around.
drop it.
The people who are joining, oh, I can't wait to play Street Fighter 5 for the first time. What the fuck? What the hell's going on? Oh my god, I lost all my health in 10 seconds and the game's over. What? It's just bullshit, you know? And I'm way more interested to try out new characters. Characters that we haven't seen before, people haven't had a chance to cheat and master already. And quite frankly, I'm more interested in characters like Zangief, Blanca, Honda, a returning character like DJ, and I wanted to see how he's going to play in this one because he wasn't in Street Fighter 5, or the new characters like Marissa, Lily, Manon, JP. Those are my more interesting characters to me. That's who I want to mess around with. I don't care about the 8 characters I've already played with twice in the beta. So for me, it would be a boring weekend, quite frankly. I'm just going to wait for the game to come out. So that's why I'm not doing the beta this weekend. But hey, all of you who are playing
It'd
the
be
beta
boring
this
for
weekend,
me,
enjoy.
guys, to play a game.
Want a break from it after playing it for 2 straight days? Come on by the Fight and Feast on Sunday, and let's have a chill time together. Sound good?
He's so hoping Jax Razor shows up for that. Come on, Jax. You haven't given me money in a while. Show up, please.
So after the Fight
I'm begging
Feast,
you.
rest of this month, literally, we'll be focused on Zelda, Star Wars, Elden Ring, trying to wrap up at
Cartman.
least one of those playthroughs,
Yeah.
hopefully by the end of the month. Since Zelda's
That
100
part.
hours, I'm going to say that's probably the one we're not wrapping up. I don't know how long the Star Wars or Elden Ring playthroughs will continue, but what I can tell you is this. Once we finish Oblivion, that is going to be a late night stream slot that now we can take one of those games and start playing it at a night stream or even start rotating. So we'll have even more gameplay of those games in each week. And I am definitely hoping for great progress and that by the end of this month, we will free up some of these games so that way when I start playing Street Fighter 6, that can be the main focus and we can balance that with other stuff after a few days of hardcore practice and kind of getting, you know, immersed in that universe. So let's see what happens. But the rest of this month, I'm hyper-focused on these games and trying to get as far as I can into them. Thank you to everyone who has been enjoying and supporting the content this month. And I hope you're ready for
one
the second half,
person.
because now we're actually officially getting into the
Jinx.
second half of May. As of today, it's the 15th. So there you go. All right. Very good. All right. I think that's what I had to talk about schedule-wise. So now, a quick update.
It's been an hour since his stream
on a news
started, and
story.
he's just now
And then I would
finishing
like
his
to talk
schedule
about the
talk.
topic I want to talk about today. Naughty words on YouTube and how it affects
He
monetization.
just
okay?
now
Because it has affected some
finished
things recently, and I'm
talking
gonna
about his
explain how.
schedule after
Well,
an
first of
hour.
all, the one news story for today is
Yeah,
a
Zelda's in the
follow-up
lead
on
at
Activision
51%.
Blizzard purchase acquisition by Microsoft. So as you know, they have been trying to buy Activision Blizzard for a while. And it's been in court, it's been with these regulatory bodies. And essentially what's happened is, one body, this UK regulatory body, whoever they are, have said they feel that this should not go through because of something about cloud gaming. Now, the funny part about that is cloud gaming is in its infancy. You saw things like Google Stadia attempt cloud gaming and fail miserably. There are instances of people who use cloud gaming, but it's definitely not anything, Headphone users, do you hear that noise? What noise? Nothing.
It's the AC unit.
There's no noise.
It's the AC.
There's literally no noise unless you just hear an air conditioner. So I don't know why people are...
That's a noise, DSP.
You hear anything? Nothing. It's air, right? Okay, thank you. I don't know. People are being stupid. Anyway, so this regulatory body seems to want to hold up this purchase because of cloud gaming. But then when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it and you break it down into their analysis, the things they're saying are preposterous. Like they're saying everyone who is a subscriber
He's a
of
huge
Game
Street Fighter
Pass
fan, dude.
is a cloud gamer. What? That's not even true. But that's what their analysis broke down. They're believing that Microsoft has this certain amount of cloud gamers, and because if they buy Activision Blizzard now, somehow this has something to do with holding back cloud gaming. It doesn't even make sense. Like from a business perspective and a technology perspective, the things they're saying make no sound sense. But they're a regulatory body in the UK, and somehow they might actually hold up this purchase, even though they're completely uninformed on the subject. It's pretty hilarious, isn't
I
it?
totally want to throw money at him now, fan of.
So this
because he called me
morning,
an idiot.
the
Timo,
overall
how's it
European
going?
Union, who's basically everyone in Europe except the UK, came out and said, we are stamping the seal of approval on the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard on the premise that any games from Activision Blizzard that are owned by Microsoft, which is all of them, will eventually be available on the cloud, and those cloud versions of the games would be able to be played on other devices, so that it won't lock those games into only Microsoft exclusive consoles and or platforms.
DSP playing a
So
video
I
game
guess what they're
before
saying
4
is,
o'clock. Are you kidding?
let's say you put Call of Duty on the cloud, well, eventually you could stream that on a PlayStation. If that ever even happens, because right now, cloud gaming on PlayStation is incredibly basic. You take a look at the games that you can cloud game on PlayStation, and they're few and far between. The ones that you can actually play, they're pixelated. Like, for example, when I was playing Infamous, right? I played cloud gaming Infamous when I had PS Plus Premium last year. You could still play the game, but it definitely had some issues, a little bit of input lag, and some pixelization in the graphics. For the most part, though, I was impressed. I actually thought that it was a pretty good representation of what the game would play like on PS3, except for the graphics. Like, everything else seemed fine and playable. It was just the graphics that were a little annoying because it wasn't
care about the
as
graphics?
defined or clear as if you were actually playing it physically on your PS3. But outside of that, I thought that it was a pretty good experience. Now, I guess what'll happen is
And
eventually
it's saying a cloud is nothing more than
cloud
a
gaming will
server.
advance. And if what they're saying is,
Where's
let's
that
say in
server gonna
5
be at?
years, cloud gaming has gotten to the
Oh,
point
the
where
server's
now you
going to
can play
be
really
in
great
Las
versions.
Vegas.
And if anyone actually
and
wants
you're
to
in
cloud
United
game
Kingdom?
Call of Duty or
Have fun
know,
with that.
Overwatch or whatever it may be,
Oh, the
they'd
server's
be
in
able to do
Japan?
that. And because
Oh
of
no,
that,
a typhoon in
essentially
Japan, and
all
then
of
there's an
those
earthquake.
games
Oh
that
no,
are
the server
exclusive
cables coming
because
out
they were
of
bought by Microsoft
Japan
would be
and
able
cut
to be
off.
played on other consoles
Congratulations,
anyway.
you have
Therefore, the
no
deal
games
is
in the
fine, and
cloud
the deal should
because
go
the
through.
servers that the games are on is
So,
in Japan.
The European Union directly addressing cloud gaming, saying yes, let the deal go through. So now
We'd
will
have
the
to build
UK
servers
budge?
all
Will
over
the
the
UK
world.
be obstinate and be like, oh no, we still feel like, even though it seems like they don't even understand the technology because they're so focused on
We'd have to get
cloud
pretty
gaming
massive
that
server
no
in
one
like
is
Europe,
using.
couple places
How
in
can you
North
say that
America.
everyone who has Xbox Game Pass
Set one in
is a cloud
Australia,
gamer?
I'm
That's
sure.
completely false. The vast majority of people are downloading the games onto their consoles and playing locally. They are not cloud gaming these games. Their statistics are completely wrong. So we'll see what happens, but the good news is, for those who wanting this acquisition to go through, the European Union stamping it okay is a good positive step forward and a good sign that maybe other regulators will now even start to loosen up and say, okay, maybe we were a little off base, and start to approve it. I don't know. It's just funny because we started talking about this, 2 years ago? And we're 2 years in, and we're not even any closer to having this thing approved or going through. It's just crazy how the business world works, isn't it? How, like, you could wait years and years and years for progress on something as stupid as, I just want to buy a company. Too bad. Wait 17 years. By the time you buy the company, maybe video games will be obsolete. Like, Jesus.
Yes, I'm sure video games are going to be obsolete 17 years from now. No one will be playing video games ever again.
There you go. Now, I would like to talk about a topic this morning that has directly affected me and many, many, many other content creators on YouTube. All right. It's actually affected me a lot recently. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about YouTube monetization.
Because you can't stop cursing.
And how it has changed over the last several years.
And mind you, it's
YouTube
only
keep
ad revenue
updating their
you
policy
lose.
when it comes to monetization. All right. And how this has affected people making content on the site. Okay? Excuse me. Sorry about that. So let me tell you a little story. I've been a YouTuber for 15 years. Back in the day,
and
when
you
had
still
ads
don't know
on
what the
your
fuck you're
videos,
doing.
it was the Wild West. Anything went. There was no regulation whatsoever. You could literally put out a video of you saying, fart, 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 dick, McFucklefuck. And you could just say it for 10 minutes straight, and you could slap an ad on it, and it's fine. No one cares. Even if it's the most nonsensical garbage, you could make a video, and you get ads all over it, and no one would give a shit. Back in the day, we're talking like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. The ads on YouTube were running like the fucking river of milk and honey. The Horn of Plenty was exploding with revenue everywhere. It was insane. You could get ads on anything, and they all paid a ton. To give you some perspective on this, all right? On a new release day, I would go to GameStop, and I would buy a new game. I would come home, and I would film a video that I called Release Day Unboxing. So this was before I was even like a streamer. And I would just set up a camera.
We really got to listen to his
15
history
minutes,
again.
I would say, here's the new game. Let's look at the box. Here's what it says on the back. Let's open it. Open it. Oh, here's the game. If there was a booklet or whatever, we'd look at that. Any packaging. Okay, here's what I'm expecting from the game. All right, guys, let's go play it. 15-minute video. The video would get, let's say, 20 to 30,000 views. Okay? Because back then, I was very popular on YouTube. That video of 20 to 30,000 views would make more money because of ad revenue than the game I bought. You understand? It would pay for the cost of the game. Just the unboxing video.
And where did all that money
That's how
go?
prominent ad revenue was back in the day. It was like sky high. So you could dick around and more than pay for anything you were doing. Remember I used to do DSP Tries It? And I would go get a fast food meal that would cost me like $10,
You'd get
$15.
3 bags of food.
Make a video, and the
You would
video
literally
would
have
make me
the bag
a
of food that
ridiculous
he's
amount of
testing,
money.
plus 2 more
And,
bags of
why-
food
Philip,
behind
why
him.
did you know, that's why I did those series back then, because it was diversification of my content that actually was paying.
Rip to Napster
Pretty
and
big.
LimeWire.
Okay.
Amount of movies I got off of LimeWire.
And you know, I will say that persisted
And
probably
there's
for a
so
long
much
time,
anime off of LimeWire.
all the way through. Now, what happened was, over the years, a lot of partnership companies and things reduced the amount they were paying. And the reason was that YouTube ad revenue was starting to diminish. Now, that's not because, ads were less profitable. It was because there were more content creators. And with more content creators out there, there was more competition for ads. And it wasn't as many high-paying ads. It was more like, less ads because there were more people demanding the ads. It wasn't as plentiful. So there was situations where people's pay was cut. It happened to me twice when I was partnered with Machinima, where they had direct renegotiations of my contract for less money because ad revenue was reducing on YouTube. There wasn't enough ads to go around, basically. Okay? But all the way up until, I would say, early 2017, all right, ad revenue remained at a really great level on YouTube, right, Jasper?
You gotta
know
listen to
about
the
this. I told you
Adpocalypse
this
shit
story
again.
before,
Are you kidding me?
He's sitting on my lap.
Yeah, it's the Final
Ad
Fantasy
revenue
13
remained very,
game.
very
The
prevalent
far I'm going
on
off
YouTube
was
all the way
epic.
through early 2017. Okay, but then something happened in 2017.
He didn't even open the
Sadly,
box.
the days of plenty dried up. Here's what happened, okay? After years and years of unlimited ads and basically YouTube putting ads on everything, advertisers started to actually study
The smoke
what
alarm
they
was
were
not his
getting
neighbor
out
getting
of
pissed
YouTube
off. And
advertisements. And what
they were
they
getting
started
pissed
to
at him. It was like
find
2
was
o'clock in the morning.
alarming to
He's
them.
drunk.
They were
playing a video game and the
investing
neighbor
these
yelled
large
at him.
budgets into YouTube advertising, and they were finding that their ads were becoming increasingly less and less effective. The reason being was that YouTube had absolutely no control over where the ads went. So let's say, for example, you run Starbucks' marketing campaigns, and you decide you're going to buy $1 million ad campaign on YouTube for a new Starbucks drink that's coming out this week. So you just
The
say,
unicorn.
here, you guys, please put these ads on your videos, and let's get our product out there. So, you know, these ads run.
I did nothing wrong,
and then
guys.
you come to find out they didn't really have any impact on your product. No one really ran out and bought the new drink. I wonder why. So they started doing market research. Come to find out, these ads would just go on any video. You know, some kid looking at a camera going, 2 views, gets the fucking Starbucks ad, right? Or even worse than that,
So the guy's doing
ads that were
scat.
completely
Not the kind of
irrelevant.
DSPs
Imagine
into,
you're
but
a
the
life
music.
insurance company, okay? And you're trying to sell life insurance to adults, and your ads get put on a PewDiePie video where, you know, he's playing a game and screaming at it. Well, how many people watching the PewDiePie videos, him screaming at a game, are going to think about buying life insurance today? Probably not a lot. So the problem was that it wasn't targeted advertising. Instead, it was just advertising thrown against a wall and hope that some of it sticks and someone sees it who's pertinent, but it wasn't effective advertising. Now, the thing that really, the straw that broke the camel's back, as they would say, is that basically they did even further research and found out that their brands were now being advertised and represented on kind of videos that they didn't want their ads on.
Like
So, for
yours.
example, they started finding racist content. okay?
Yours content.
Almost content borderlining on outright terrorism. All right, people say
Your
they hate
content?
a certain group of people and that they should be, you know, hurt and stuff.
You,
like that.
Mr. I Hate
They
the
found
Japanese.
these videos on YouTube and found their ads were being run on those videos. I mean, one of the infamous videos is I brought up PewDiePie. This one I feel PewDiePie really got railroaded for no reason. Okay, he's in a video and he says the N-word. Now I don't know the context because I wasn't paying attention. I don't believe there's any context that he should have used that word. All right, I just don't believe he should have used it.
You've
at all.
used it plenty of times.
But this became like the poster example of here's a big YouTuber using a bad word they shouldn't use. And by the way, his content was fully monetized. So this was the excuse where companies like Walmart, Starbucks, all these giant companies spending millions of dollars on YouTube advertisements said, we don't want to do this now. Because look what the content that you're putting our ads on. You're misrepresenting our companies and what we stand for. We don't want this. And they all pulled their ads. So this happened within like a week's time in early 2017. Ad revenue on YouTube went from usual levels to literally less than half of what you were making. So you'd be putting out a video.
Where'd
that's
all that money
monetized
you
on
made
YouTube,
before
it
that
gets the
happened
same amount
go?
of views you usually get, and you made less than half as much money. And you're like,
Where's PewDiePie lives free in his
what
head?
just happened?
Or else would
And
he
within
be
a week,
living?
everyone started panicking. That's what was called the YouTube adpocalypse, when all these big advertisers put their heads together and started talking collectively and said, we're not getting what we want out of the ads. The ads aren't going to the appropriate parties because there's no way on YouTube to control where ads go. And on top of that, the ads are going on completely inappropriate content that we don't stand for, so we don't want to deal with this anymore, and we're all pulling our ads. Okay? So, that's pretty messed up because it hurt everyone. It wasn't like, oh, this is 1 or 2 people affected. This literally hurt everyone on YouTube who was making a living. And overnight, people had to reassess what they were going to do. Some companies went completely out of business. Some people had said, well, I used to be able to focus just on YouTube content, but I can't do that anymore. Now I have to diversify. I have to focus on streaming. I have to focus on sponsorships. I have to focus on content for my Patreon because now I can't just make videos and make a living anymore because the ad revenue has less than half. Okay? I was one of those people. I was about to go out of business. I couldn't afford anything. And then I decided to become a full-time streamer. And Incidentally, it was during the Zelda Breath of the Wild playthrough. I know today I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, but it was during that Breath of the Wild playthrough.
And what, you
where
sucked at life?
I had to basically adapt and say, I'm going to become a full-time streamer now and see if this will work. And the good news is it did. Because here I am 6 years
PewDiePie
later,
got bigger than
still
him
making a living,
still
still
pisses
going
him off
strong.
to this day.
But for every
Like, is
one
there any
of me,
surprise that he got
there
bigger
was
than you, DSP?
probably
He didn't
20
suck like
people
you.
who basically had to quit content creation when the ads dried up. It's pretty messed up. Okay, it is. It's a pretty messed up situation. Meanwhile, the biggest YouTubers were never really affected. The biggest YouTubers were able to roll on because they were already rolling in dough, and they found other opportunities, whether it was sponsorships or whatever, so they kept
probably
going.
reached out
And if you
to
haven't
people,
noticed,
they had
it's
connections.
become way more prevalent in the last
like
5 to 6 years that the big content creators get all these opportunities. Product placement.
It's much like how a director like Kevin Smith can pretty much get any actor he wants in his movies. You know why? Because people like him. Others, like let's say Chevy Chase, you don't see him in a lot. You know why? Because no matter how talented he is, everyone that's ever worked with him hates him. Like, he's an amazing, talented actor, but no one wants to work with him because he's such a piece of shit. He treats everyone poorly. And so that's why you don't see him in a lot. But get someone like Kevin Smith or Quentin Tarantino. Like, how did Quentin Tarantino get all these big name actors in his movies? Because people like him. DSP has never had that. DSP has never understood that. The reason some of these bigger content creators be like, alright, ad revenue's down, but I made a connection here, I made a connection there. Keen starts talking about his connections at Netflix. Like, he wants to get a DSP documentary made and put on Netflix. He has those connections. You know why? Because people like him. Is he a piece of shit? Maybe. Probably. Kind of is. But behind the scenes, Keemstar is able to do what he does because people like him. If people like you, you can get shit done. I got my promotion, 5 years ago because the people liked me. They had a position open. Like, hey, I want that position. I said, okay, sure, we like you. And they put me in it because they liked me. Someone else put in for the same position. They may have even been more qualified for that position, but if they showed up late, if they showed up at all. They were constantly taking cigarette breaks, so I was like, hey, we need this done. Well, 10 minutes from now, I'm going to do my cigarette break. I'll get on that. It's like, well, we kind of need it done now. Well, I'm a smoke break. I'm a drug addict. I got to suck on a fake dick for next 10 minutes. And so guess what? Even though he was more qualified for that position than I was, he didn't get it because they didn't like him. And they liked me better. It's amazing how far you can get in life if people like you. Oh, hey, I need help with this. Oh, I like you. I know how to do that. I'm going to help you. Guys, I need help with this. Well, fuck you. I'm not going to help you. Why would I help you? You're a piece of shit. It's just how life is, DSP. Those guys became big and popular because people like them. When they face an issue, they can turn to someone. They can turn to a dozen people. Oh no, my car is having an issue. I got 2 people I can call right now. Oh no, my electrical wiring, something went wrong with this. I got someone I can call. I got a plumber I can call, because this kind of worked for me. He worked with my mom. My mom used him all the time for her stuff. Got a lot of business from her. And when I needed help, she's like, oh, hey, use this guy. I was like, oh, hey, because you're this person's relative. A, I know you're going to be a good person. B, I know you're going to pay me on time. Because he'll be like, oh, yeah, all right, I'll just do 6 months of payments. And then, 10 months later, when they got 2 payments in, guess what? He doesn't work with that person anymore. He doesn't do work for that person anymore. But it's like, oh, hey, all right, we'll do 3 months. That's going to be like $1,200, $400 a month. All right, 400, done. He knows I'm going to do that because he likes me, and we've talked. I just had to go to H&R Block on Saturday because IRS rejected something, and the guy was looking through. He's like, I don't get it. He put in every individual transaction instead of just doing lump sum. I don't know why. Took about 20 minutes to get it fixed, send it back to IRS. Then I spent the next hour just hanging out with him, bullshitting with the guy because he didn't have another client until 2:15. Able to do that because people like me, because I'm a relatively okay person, unlike Darkside Phil.
Get a game in advance. Get shipped out to a special PR event. Because this is now how they're making their living. It's not just about pumping out
You
the videos
got
anymore.
games
It's about
sent
having
to
all these
you.
other
You
promotional
got
opportunities.
sent out to
But
E3
another
by
pattern you
Machinima.
may have noticed in the last several
You've
years,
done that shit
particularly,
before.
all right, is basically because YouTube has now instituted changes to the way that they monetize content. Okay, it used to be
The fuck was
any
that with
video on the
ATs?
planet could get an ad. Doesn't even matter what content it is, the length, whatever you're doing, whatever, it all gets ads. But after the adpocalypse, what YouTube had to do is they had to make several changes. One of the changes they did was that both the content creator and the company buying the ads have control over what kind of ads will run on certain content. Right now, I can actually go into an AdSense account that I have, and I can say, I would like only these particular kind of ads and not these. You have the ability to at least try to block certain ads. Like, let's say, for example, you were a staunch Democrat, and you absolutely positively did not want any kind of conservative or Republican ads on your videos. You should have the ability to turn them off. Of course, you might lose a lot of ad revenue doing that, but you should have the ability to turn off those kind of political ads, okay? Now, for the most part, no one does this. For the most part, everyone just likes everything just roll, okay? But there are some people who have that control and they do execute it, and good on them. You should have the ability to control the advertisements on your content. Now, on the flip side of that, when an advertiser now buys an ad space on YouTube, say, I'm going to spend $1 million campaign, right? What they then do is they have all these criteria they now have to check off, right? What kind of content are you interested in advertising on? What about content that's geared towards adults only? What about content that's geared towards teens? What about content that's sports? What about content that's games? What about content? So you can pick these categories now where you want your ads to actually be shown. So now, ultimately, the advertiser has power, which they never had before, which is why the adpocalypse happened to begin with, okay? But another thing that has happened in the last few years is language, okay? And this has been such a
Yes,
gray
no
area
cursing,
on YouTube
no
and such
screaming
an
racial
issue
slurs,
of contention
DSP.
for a lot of content.
Oh wait, that's what got you kicked off of
Because
Twitch.
if you're a content creator that is not creating for children, and you speak your mind and you use profanity in what you're saying, all right, chances are, if you use a lot of profanity, your content is not eligible for monetization on YouTube anymore, all right? You know, there's content out there that used to be able to, you know, I'm going to do a review, but I'm going to use the F-bomb a few times. Well, if you use it too many times, your video will get demonetized. If you say
then stop
a
cursing.
racially charged joke, if you say a joke that has anything to do with gender, if you have a joke that anything could be, you know, anything political.
So stop being a
you might
racist,
get
bigoted,
demonetized
sexist piece of
just
shit.
for saying that particular thing. Whether or not it even is offensive to anyone, they could demonetize it anyway, all right? In particular, they've changed their rules in the last year to say if you have a video that either in the title of the video, so you say, oh, you know, DSP swears and says the F-bomb, right? That's the title of the video. Just saying it like that might get demonetized. Seriously, even if you don't say the word fuck, you might still get demonetized for just having that in the
Not
title.
even bad. Guys,
okay?
my
And in
pre-stream
addition
was
to that,
demonetized because I
in the
kept
first few
cursing
minutes
in
of
it. I
any
don't know
video,
why.
If you drop an F-bomb, if you say like shit in the first few minutes of a video, YouTube will auto-detect that and demonetize the video. You could have a 5-hour-long video, and as soon as you click record, you're like, oh shit, my microphone screwed up. Can you guys hear me? Oops, you said shit in the first few seconds. Whole 5 hours demonetized. Yeah,
Good.
that's how YouTube is running things now.
Then stop cursing so much.
In addition, hot topics. For example, things like sexual abuse, trafficking, any kind of like sexualized content in general.
He's gonna be so
Seems to have
pissed
been a
when this
red
video
flag on
gets
YouTube.
demonetized.
But when you
isn't
say
he?
those things, you get demonetized. Okay? So you might have noticed in the last few years, certain bigger content creators who used to say things such as, oh my god, you know, sex scandal, now say spicy scandal. They literally won't say the word sex anymore. Like the word is banned from YouTube because they're so afraid of saying it.
But he
that they're
can't
gonna get
edit,
demonetized.
dude. He
I've actually
doesn't have the
seen
power.
gamers doing playthroughs, and if it says fuck or if it says, you know, ass or if it says shit, they literally put another word in there. They do. They'll say another word. I'm like, you can just say what it said in the game? You know? No, they actually edit. They censor themselves in what they're saying in the hopes that their video won't get demonetized if they have a swear word in there.
And just
Now, you may have
stop
noticed
cursing
in
so
my
much.
content, this has not really affected
Or
anything.
just deal
I pretty much
with
stay
it when
true
it
to
gets
who I am.
demonetized.
If
Like
I'm going
I
to swear,
did.
I'm going to swear. And that's just who I am, and I'm not going to change who I am after 15 years to try to get more monetization on my videos. But there's many different reasons for that. Okay, reason number one, I am prolific. I put out a lot of content. In a week's time, I have 6 straight days of full-time gaming and streaming. I'm putting out tons of videos. Even if a third of my videos get demonetized this week, I still got a lot more. Plus, I have a 15-year body of work, out of which, arguably 13 years of which are monetized. So, at every single day, I'm not kidding you, videos
Unless you've
on
deleted the
DSP
video
Gaming,
like you've been
as well as
deleting.
my other archive channels or whatever, they all get demonetized on a daily basis. This algorithm is constantly running, finding naughty words it doesn't like, and demonetizing videos. So, I would argue that probably if you said I uploaded 80, 90,000 videos in 15 years, probably, I'm not kidding, half of those are probably demonetized by now. I'm serious. But at the same time, when you have so much content out there, it's not that big of a deal. If I was someone who put out one video a day, or even worse, one of these content creators who only does curated, edited content, like what if you're only putting out one video a week and it's a really long edited video, and now immediately you upload it demonetized because you swore in it? You just wasted a week's worth of your time and hard work. How are you supposed to make a living, right? So the good news is, for my formula, being a prolific content creator, constantly pumping out content, it doesn't really affect me. But for other people, it could massively affect them, which is why you may have noticed bleeping of words, changing of words, saying things in a weird and different way that doesn't even sound right. That's because they're trying to protect their content. I can't really blame anyone for doing that. I completely understand and empathize with these people, because if you're working your ass off to put out something meaningful for an audience and you're trying to make a living doing it, and then to be told after the fact, oh, because you said a naughty potty mouth word, you can never make any money on this video. Like, what the heck? That is insane.
Then just stop cursing. That's
here's
all
the funny
it
part
is.
about it that I think. How much content on this planet is considered for adults but monetized? Are you telling me there's no TV-14, TVM, rated R movies that make money? Really? You don't think there's any of that? You don't think there's an audience for that? I mean, obviously there is. And the thing that gets me is that there very well might be advertisers on YouTube that are totally okay with swears in content, as long as it's not over the top, let's say, you know, vulgar, insulting, disgusting, as long as it's in good faith, you know, in good jest. Maybe a reviewer who's a little angry says the F-bomb a few times or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's advertisers who'd be okay with that. But it sure seems to me YouTube just doesn't really care, because these criteria are across the board. There is an algorithm running that auto-detects these things in a video, and when it does, you just get demonetized, regardless of if even you flagged your video and said, hey, I want my video to be adults only. YouTube doesn't really care. They'll still demonetize your video anyway, okay? Now, where this really affects me recently is YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts, all right, at most are allowed to be a minute long. Now, I want you to think about this criteria. YouTube is saying within the first few minutes of any video, you can't swear. If you swear within the first few minutes of any video you upload, instant demonetization, okay?
Then
but wait a
just
minute.
stop cursing
YouTube
so
Shorts
much.
are only a minute
King
long.
Bean, how you
So
doing,
if I
man?
swear in a YouTube Short, that's definitely within the first
Sent
few
you that
minutes of
one
the
video
It's
on
only a minute of
Twitter,
the video.
dude.
So guess what?
Janelle
This
Monáe.
blanket thing
Waifu.
that should really only be applied to long-form content is applied to YouTube Shorts. So if you're making a YouTube Short and you swear in it, you are immediately demonetized. And on top of that, when you get demonetized, you also get kicked out of the algorithm. So a YouTube Short that may be a great piece of work that's entertaining, but it has shit in it, literally will never get seen by the masses on YouTube. It immediately
Then don't fucking
you might as well
curse.
not have made it unless you only care about your hardcore audience seeing it. All right? Now let's be honest. In the case of making a YouTube Short, you're probably doing it to try to get your channel to get exposure, right? Your core audience already knows about the content you're putting out. When you're doing a YouTube Short, you're trying to do a small digestible clip of something that maybe someone who doesn't know who you are would eventually see in the algorithm and say, oh, that's interesting, I like that, I'll go check out the channel. But if you're immediately getting demonetized and essentially kicked out of any search algorithm because you swore in a short, you might as well have never made the short. All right?
But you didn't make the short.
So,
Someone else made the
case
short
in
for
point.
you. That's the thing with DSP.
The other day I'm
He
playing
didn't make the short. He
Zelda
made
Tears of the Kingdom on launch day.
nothing.
And people said, oh, here's some good examples of shorts that you should do.
He made
I couldn't do any of them.
nothing.
All right? I actually had 3 different ideas for shorts, and every single one that I came up with, I swore in the clip. The best one, actually,
Then stop
was me
swearing.
having the metal bird. When you're up in the Sky Islands, there's a metal bird. You stand on it, and you glide off this ledge, and you start flying on it, essentially. What I didn't realize is that the metal bird is timed and will completely disappear for no good reason after a certain amount of time. It starts blinking, and then poof, and then you fall and die. And I was like, well, that's definitely a thing you wouldn't know. It's a beginner's trap. That's a classic case of a beginner's trap. Why would you have thought that a piece of metal you're gliding on just would disappear from existence? It doesn't make sense. It's just something you need to know. So as I'm doing it, I'm enjoying myself, and I'm like, wow, look at all this, and all of a sudden it starts blinking. I say, wait a minute, why is it blinking? Uh-oh, and then it disappears, and I go, oh, shit, as I careen, and then turn into a flattened Link pancake. It's really funny. It was probably the best part of the entire run so far of Zelda, because it was just a wow, like a moment you wouldn't have predicted. Who would have known it would have happened? And then it happened. It was funny. My reaction's funny. And so, go to do the short, can't make it. Why? Because I yelled shit. And if you mute it, it's literally just muted for a good 5 to 10 seconds as I'm falling, and it sounds terrible. So either I leave shit in, and now no one will see the short besides a very small amount of viewers in my core audience, who already likely have seen the video and already know about this moment, or I mute it, and it sounds absolutely terrible, and it's not funny anymore. So essentially, what
could
YouTube's
use
doing
video
with
editing
censorship
program to
is they're
add
ruining content. They are making it so that content that normally would have been funny or honest
The-
or wow, here's a
after you
honest
mute
moment of how to
the
react to something.
bad word in it.
becomes
That's all you
junk.
gotta do.
And you can never highlight it as a YouTube short. What ends up happening is YouTube shorts end up having to be like almost like what's the word? Sterilized content, right? Like YouTube shorts can't have anything
Hope
to
you're
do
doing
with
all right,
risque,
man.
can't have anything. Even for example, when I was playing Callisto
Happy
Protocol,
about any of the
all right?
Jag picks?
So in Callisto Protocol, obviously, as you know, it's a survival horror game. There's a lot of gore.
I'm just
There's a lot of
happy
gory
that,
animations and things in it. There was one
Vikings
case where I
went with
actually
the wide
got
receiver first round,
kind of like
quarterback,
cornered
like people were saying.
by a bunch of enemies, and they all came after me.
Like, don't waste
and
the
I didn't
first round
realize
draft
this, and
picking
they just
another
like it was a funny
quarterback.
moment because I was like, oh no, my reaction is funny. I didn't swear, but the video got demonetized anyway. Why? Violence. Violence. It's a fucking survival horror game. Of course, there's violence, and there's an audience for that. So as long as I'm tagging it properly and saying Callisto Protocol, and they know it's a survival horror game,
But
why
YouTube
can't I have a
isn't
short
regulated
of
for
Callisto
like
Protocol?
rated R only
No,
or whatever.
it's too violent.
So they gotta demonetize
So no one can
it.
ever do a short of Callisto Protocol because what else is there of value in the game? The fucking main character picking his nose in the prison? Oh look, there's no violence in this. Look, you got a big goober. Like, what are you talking about? And that's what I mean. Like, again with YouTube, they're always like to the extreme. First, when they started with the ads, it was the land of milk and plenty. Everything overpays an insane amount.
And what
Give
happened
ads
to all
every
that
person on
money
the
you made
planet. I
during
don't even
the
care what content you're
days
putting
of
out.
milk
Make a
and
video that's
plenty.
racist, sexist, terrorist, and we'll monetize it, and you can make money and make a living on YouTube. But then that blows up in their face, and within a few years, the door has to swing the other way to the extreme. Now you can't swear, you can't talk about gender, you can't talk about race, you can't talk about politics, you can't talk about this and this and that. What the fuck? So you went from one extreme to the
And
other.
now this video's
How about
gonna
the
get
happy
demonetized
medium
and throw a
where
shit fit
everyone
about
can meet
that?
where reality is? Because that's the problem in life. You can't have it all the way one way or all the way the other way. The reality is that we have to find a medium place to meet and have things that make sense.
Which they
What YouTube has
did.
done doesn't make sense.
You can
You're telling
monetize
me the only
videos, you
shorts
just
I can
can't be
put out are
cursing
these
in
really
them or
crappy, boring ones
showing nudity.
where I can't even say a swear word ever. Like, what the hell is that? You know? And it's weird because this also happens with culture. All right? In culture, you have these time periods where things will swing one way, swing the other way, swing one way. When I started on YouTube, you could say whatever the hell you wanted. In fact, it was actually encouraged that you would be extreme and say ridiculous things that were over the top. That's what would get you attention on YouTube. To say something really insulting, to say something really inflammatory. That's the kind of commentary I was doing in my early days on YouTube, because that's what got you, noticed, right? And then all of a sudden, culture changes. Well, now that's all offensive content, Like, well, wait a minute. Well, I was doing it for
It was
3-4
always
years. and people liked it.
offensive.
Oh, that was offensive. You're a horrible person for doing it. But
It
during the
was
time, everyone
always
got the joke and
offensive.
said it
How do
wasn't
you not
offensive. Well, now
understand that,
it is.
DSP?
Oh, okay. So now we got to change, right? And that's what happens. Is these things change from time to time. They swing back and forth. I want to know when we're going to get to the level where people can like be smart and not have to go all the way one way or all the way the other, but actually just kind of be real, but not extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm playing Zelda and a funny thing happens, I should be able to swear, and I should still be able to make money on the video where I swear. Now, if you don't want to see that kind of content, you should have the ability to filter it out, and that's fine. But why are you telling me that I can't be myself, right? Now, there's a difference between being yourself and being
Holy
purposefully
shit, this
offensive,
rant is
right?
fantastic.
I'm
I
not trying
love
to be
it.
Purposefully offensive either, just to get popular. People do that. They'll go on YouTube and they'll go over the top ridiculous one way or the other to try to get that viewership and to try to get that crazy amount of polarizing attention. But, I just want to be real. And you tell me I have to censor myself?
I mean, I can't
in
scream
order to
the
try to make
N-word
a
at
living on YouTube?
people.
I
It's
don't
bullshit,
feel
guys.
that's fair. All right? And I know, saying that, a lot of people will be like, well, what do you think about the people who say fucked up stuff about you? Well, you know what? As long as what they're saying isn't incredibly harmful, they should be able to say it. You should be able to criticize. You should be able to insult. You should. All right? But not to the point where it gets downright slanderously harmful or so defamatory that you now make someone actually not be able to have a living because you made so many people hate them because you lied about them. That's a little different. You understand?
But they're not
freedom of
lies.
speech goes both ways. And yeah, people should be able to swear. People should be able to talk about these risque topics if they want, as long as the content is flagged appropriately and the advertisers can choose whether or not they choose to advertise on said content. I do not believe there should be a
So they
blanket
chose
law
not
on
to advertise
YouTube
on that
saying,
content.
oh, you swore in the first 30 seconds of your video. You can never make money on that video ever. What? What? How does that even make sense? Right? Or you can literally never have a YouTube short with a swear in it. It'll never be seen by anyone.
Good.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Again, you know what that's like? You're in class, or imagine you're back in elementary school, all right?
Oh, yeah,
So you're
he
sitting
so
there in
wants to say a
elementary
bunch of
school, right?
horrible racist,
And the
bigoted
teacher's
stuff.
back is turned against the wall. And some kid who's an asshole decides he's going to take a rubber band, and he's going to pull this back, and he's going to snap the rubber band at the teacher's head. Now, everyone sees it happening, all right? And he goes, snap, and he hits the teacher in the back of the head. And the teacher turns around infuriated and says, the entire class gets detention. Huh?
Good.
Why? Because I'm the teacher and you abuse me. Entire class gets detention. But we didn't do it. Too bad. Group punishment.
That
Everyone
happens,
gets detention.
though.
Right?
The punishment
Like, what?
happens all the time.
That's essentially what YouTube is doing. Are there people who have done bad things on YouTube and likely should either be demonetized or have their content monitored
But
for
not me,
monetization?
guys. I
Yes.
should be
Does
monetized
that mean
always.
the entire site should be punished for the work of a few people who have been bad apples? No, but that's how YouTube operates. It's either all or nothing. It's extreme this way or extreme that
DSP
way.
is so
And that's what
unhappy
I don't
about this. I
understand,
love it.
you
Thank
know?
you, DSP, for this
We're
rank
punishing
today.
everyone for the acts of a few small bad actors, and now everyone had to change in 2017. It's a pretty bad situation that's been going on for years and years, and sadly, I hate to say it, it's just getting worse. It seems like now you do have to kind of walk on eggshells. Like I said, for me,
So
here's
that's
the
how
good
you get
news. I don't care.
the full
I'm
Metal
not
Gear
making the vast
moment with
majority of
the
my income
socks
ad
and
revenue.
bars of
So
soap.
if half my videos a day get
People get
demonetized,
tired of getting punished.
it's
because of
definitely
one
not the end
fuck
of
up.
the world for me.
So make sure
But
that fuck up
for those who
realizes stop
depend
fucking up.
on that revenue to make a
Oh no,
living,
guys, his
like,
stream's
I
gonna
mean,
get
take a look at some of these
demonetized.
documentarians.
Oh
You
wait,
know,
I don't
someone
care.
like June the King, someone like Frederick Knudsen. You know, these videos that we've watched, that if they can't make ad revenue on those videos, they're absolutely missing out. You know, they're absolutely losing a lot of income because that's a lot of time and work. What about Angry Joe, who works his ass off to make a high
great, bring up Angry Joe.
skit-filled, effect-filled, scripted review?
I mean, you're
Listen,
jealous though, 'cause he
personally,
made money
I
when
didn't
you
find
couldn't.
the reviews that I've seen of his funny. That doesn't mean I don't respect the guy for the amount of work ethic he has and the content that he puts out. That's not fair that his video should be demonetized because he swore in it. That's insane. That's ridiculous. You know? So I'm with these people who sadly are being affected by this nonsense. This should not be happening at all.
What are you messing with
And
your
I actually
microphone?
feel
Stop
like
it.
YouTube sadly is, you know, slowly but surely kind of going to this, well, we don't care about the personal touch of anything, you know. We're just going to make these giant sweeping automated changes and you just deal with it. And that's sad.
Yeah,
you know,
you
so
just
many
deal
things on
with
YouTube
it.
are abused on a daily basis. I mean, particularly with me
Why are
copyright.
you playing the game, dude? It's not
Blatantly
4
false
o'clock
copyright
yet.
claims against the channel.
Eastern.
They were outright fake. You could tell they were outright fake claims that were not real. And YouTube didn't care. That's just sad. Because people could have entire livelihoods ruined by broken automated systems, you know.
That you did absolutely nothing to help with.
Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know for a fact people were like, gee, why did Phil not make any YouTube shorts of Zelda so far? I had multiple ones in mind, and
But you
I
can't stop
make them.
cursing.
It's stupid. I
All
would
you
love to
gotta do
have
is
a
stop
couple
cursing,
YouTube shorts on
DSP.
here, but
That's
they
all.
have swears in them. Like,
Stop
you can't even do
screaming
that,
racist
right?
slurs.
It's dumb. And by the way, I will say this because now Dave Baxter is saying something stupid. He's saying PewDiePie ruined YouTube. PewDiePie did not ruin YouTube. All right? That's stupid to say. Now, was he kind of irresponsible in what he was doing in his video? Yeah, he was. Or stream. I don't even know what it was at this point. But yes, it was irresponsible to do what he did. But here's the thing. Everyone makes
Google
mistakes.
can do whatever they want because
All right?
they diversify.
And everyone has the
unlike
right to
DSP.
atone for them, right? And I don't think that that's something that PewDiePie has continued to do. If he made one slip or one mistake, he has the right to do that and then apologize for it and come back. That doesn't mean that the entire site should be changed because of it. You understand? And really, he was made the scapegoat in that situation when the demonetization happened in 2017.
You're
a lot
one of the people who
pointed the
blamed
finger
him,
at him,
jackass.
saying, "Oh, well, you were the face of YouTube gaming, and you did that." And by the way, he lost a lot. Did you know he lost his entire YouTube gaming sponsorship? He had, excuse me, not YouTube
Womp
gaming,
womp.
YouTube Red. He had back then YouTube Premium was called YouTube Red. He had these shows that he had actually made for YouTube Red that they canceled. He had them completely filmed and in post-production, and YouTube just said, well, you said the N-word. Canceled it all. He had a contract with Disney.
Wow, you're a
Canceled.
racist. We're
'Cause he made
canceling
one
you.
mistake.
That's what happened.
That's messed up. Like, really. And again, you shouldn't have everyone punished because one person made one mistake. Right? That's insanity.
It was
Like,
just
what
a
is this
mistake
world
that I
we're living
screamed a
in?
bunch of racist slurs,
You know,
guys.
God forbid that you act like
It was a mistake when I
and you do
tend
something
to be a
stupid
Nazi in
once.
space and exterminate
you
the
know?
Jews.
And the thing is, thank God PewDiePie's big enough. It didn't matter, right? He's so big. He still retained an audience. He's still filthy rich to this day. It doesn't matter. But
And
the
it
problem
has
is
you
everyone else suffered
pissed.
because he was a human and made a mistake.
You're
That
still
is so
pissed
dumb,
off about
man.
him making all that money when you
I
can't.
just hate that whole idea, that whole system. But anyway, now I digress. That was a long time to talk about that, but I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about it. Let you
And
know
there's still gaming news from the
plans.
go-over,
I think I would
guys.
love to put out new shorts for you every day. Funny stuff. I have funny stuff for Zelda. I can't even do it.
I mean,
It's
you
like I can't even put out the
could,
short. It's
but you won't get it
It's not going
monetized.
to work for YouTube because YouTube is so
And
dumb
that's
with the way that they're
what
operating, right?
It's pissing them off. That guys, it won't be monetized, so there's no point in
Anyway,
uploading it.
Thank you for
But
listening.
you didn't do
I hope you
anything.
enjoyed that little segment.
It's not like
And now let's
you
move on to
guys. I
shout-outs,
wasted 3 hours on
all right?
making this short. And
We start off with
now it won't
Jeremy
be
Kyle,
monetized.
who re-upped his membership
you've
for
done
8 months this
nothing.
morning and said no
Someone
Zelda
else made
spoilers
that
for me.
short
I'm going
for
to stay
you.
for the podcast and enjoy. No problem. If you're someone who's actively playing Tears of the Kingdom and you don't want to be spoiled on Zelda, I completely understand. Keep in
But
mind,
you won't
most
be.
people are way
I
ahead.
can start playing
I've
Zelda
only played
today, and I
7
still won't be
hours
spoiled by what he does
since the game
because
released on
he's
Friday.
not that
You guys
much further
are
ahead of
way
me if I
ahead.
started
Today is
brand
literally
new.
my first step into the real open world, while everyone else has been playing this all weekend. So likely you're all behind me, all right? Or you're all ahead of me. I'm way behind all of you is what I meant to say.
Because you take
So I don't
forever
think
to
there
play
will
a
be many
game.
spoilers for most people, but understood. You don't want spoilers. Hopefully you'll come back for the other content, okay? Now, on the tip side of things, let's get started. First of all, this morning, there was a $20 tip from Game Trekker, and he's actually talking about Tears of the Kingdom. So let's actually get Game Trekker on the leaderboard. Let's see what he has to say. Because usually we hear from Game Trekker when it comes to my React content, but it seems like he wants to
Swag
speak
for short. I like that.
about my Tears
That's
of the
gonna
Kingdom
get
run so
pinned.
far. Why is this not typing? There we go.
Good message. That's a good message. I like that message. Gotta pin
There we go.
that.
Let's go ahead and let's get a nice animation for Game Trekker. There we
Well,
go.
only $20 so far from one dent.
All right, let's see what Game Trekker has to say.
Let's see what happens when.
I hope that Tears of the
Jinx
Kingdom
shows
is
up.
treating you well. I would love to be attending your streams of it, but besides the fact that my schedule still doesn't really allow for me to watch live at all, I've been spending pretty much all my free time playing this game myself. It's pretty darn good. Here's some support for your playthrough, which I will eventually watch on demand. Actually, just now I've watched part 1. I want to share a couple tips. First of all, did you find out
Chair
that you
holding
can
his
swap
hand.
X and B? So, essentially what he's saying is dodge would now be B, and jump, no, and then I'm trying to think what I use X for. I don't even remember what X does in the game at this point. But you
played the game all
no, wait a
weekend and you don't know what the
X
controls
is basically
are.
what B should be. Right, because I was saying, oh, in
You
Elden
just played
Ring,
the
you
game
use
for the whole
this button
weekend
to
and you
do
don't
this,
know
and
what the
this one is
controls are.
different, right? So
Holy fuck, Jin's a hell of a drug.
I figured you could change it, but the thing is, I'm trying to use the default scheme. If I'm actually going to play the game and give it a fair shake, I should be playing what's the default layout, so I'm going to stick with that. He says, I found out the game was not going to force me to get used to jumping with X.
Yes.
Right, because jumping is X, which is a weird button for it. The top button is the jump. Like, that's so odd. All right, second, something the game takes ages to properly explain is how to throw a material, which is especially useful for using bright bloom seeds underground. You use right bumper and then up on the D-pad. R will normally let Link throw his weapon, but while up on the D-pad, you can grab a material instead. So what you're saying, Game Trekker, is, for example, when I was in a dark cave, and I was using the bright bloom, and I was using arrow, I didn't have to waste an arrow. What you're saying is I could have just thrown the bright bloom. Fair enough. I'll have to remember that when we get to darker areas. Right now, I'm going to try to stay on the overworld today, I think, if I can. But I guess I'll
Everything's
have to
default
think
in
about
his
that
life,
and try to
isn't it?
remember that, because obviously I don't want to be wasting arrows if I don't have to. So thank you for that tip. Thank you for the monetary tip, and thank you for the gameplay tip. Thank you for both, Game Trekker.
But you were just bitching earlier about how I was doing
Okay.
temples and doing all the
Now let's
side
continue
stuff.
on.
And oh wow, give me
That's what
arrows.
we got here today.
But if you don't want to be wasting arrows,
So I got a $1 tip
well then hey, get
from
more
an
arrows.
anonymous tipper.
By doing the
Oh no,
side
it's not.
stuff.
It's from Hotel Dude. He says, I'm here. I have a small contribution today. Let's keep the hype and streak alive. You keep spitting truth. Enjoy your Zelda streams. Thank you so very much to Hotel Dude for a $1 tip. I appreciate that. All right, I got another. Let's see here. Here it is.
Oh, it's an insult, guys. I can't read it out. Sorry.
All right. So, I received a $50 tip from Jinx. Thank you so much to Jinx.
All
For
right,
an
glasses
early
moments,
large
guys. We get the glasses going
Let's
already.
get that going.
Aren't you happy? We get to see
Let's
glasses.
get 'em up on the leaderboard.
No, I'm not gonna wear prescription glasses, guys. I look like a nerd. Fucker never left the 80s.
Now, just keep in mind that this is all an evil conspiracy. That Jinx is actually a supervillain who's working in cahoots with the League of Super Detractors, and they're working behind the scenes on
It
several
would not
different
surprise me if it was actually
downfall
Keemstar
attempts,
fucking with
as well
him.
as evil documentaries.
Because
with
Keemstar had the money to be like, all
several
right,
heinous
do this, then
individuals.
charge back.
And they talk
even
on
if
their
he
secret
loses the
Discord
charge
every
back,
night
what the
about this
fuck
and
does
laugh
Keemstar
intently
care?
about how they're going to
He'd annoy
orchestrate my
DSP.
downfall.
Like, all right,
Every day this
and
happens,
DSP's
apparently,
days off
according to certain
tomorrow.
people. So
Charge
there you
back.
go. Oh, by the way, Jinx is also only iced coffee, but Jinx is also Planet Jeff at the same time, which is interesting. But they're also orchestrating my downfall. I just thought you guys should know that. The nonsense that I hear every day is great. Anyway, thank you, Jinx, for
How
a
are you
$50
hearing this
tip.
nonsense? I thought
Let's see
you
what
don't go
Jinx
to
has
Kiwi
to
Farms.
say.
Don't
He
watch
says,
the
I'm
tractor
excited.
videos.
No, he says,
How
let's
are you
kick off
hearing
the
all
stream,
these?
right? Excited for Zelda. And I got to say, these people are getting desperate. I don't know why I don't believe that you would actually have real supporters that love your content. No problem.
Because the very first message you ever posted
And
was,
again, by the way,
I am
you're
not
only,
OIC.
You're,
wink,
you're
wink,
the same
hey,
person.
not
You
judge.
understand that, right? Like, there's only one person who is contributing all this time. It's a single person contributing. So, Jinx is Planet Jeff, is Only Iced Coffee, is Vidar Viking. Remember him? They're all the same. Oh, by the way, Swaggins used to contribute, so you also must be Swaggins. Okay? And Game Trekker. You're all the same person. I don't know if you realize this. You ever see that movie starring
I thought Piggy Me was coming up back as a different name, though.
oh god, what was his name? The guy from
Or is she gonna keep the Piggy Me name?
I can't remember his name. Oh, John Cusack. You ever seen the movie where John Cusack is interacting with all these people at a hotel, but you come to find out that it's all just personalities in a crazy guy's head? So apparently you are the crazy guy who has like 14 different personalities. So you come to the stream and you contribute under different identity. Oh, that's the name of his identity? Oh, you are the different identities of the same person, but you tip and you contribute under different names. That's what this is. It's not different people. It's all
That
the
guy's
same
bringing up all
person
this drama
constantly.
while his
So we
top
gotta put
messages.
here-
No drama in my chat, guys.
Okay.
Well, he's the one bringing up all
Let's
the drama.
continue. All right. See, I agree. Someone just sent me $1. It says, you judge PewDiePie for his past, but he matured like yourself. I guess you didn't listen to what I actually said. You actually did not listen to a word I just said, did you? I said, I feel that PewDiePie should not be the scapegoat. He should not be held accountable for the downfall of YouTube gaming and the demonetization of YouTube. Everyone makes mistakes. And just because he made one like that doesn't mean that everyone else should have suffered and then he should have been the target.
Listen,
I
you never
actually
pretend to be a Nazi
completely-
exterminating the
I'm
Jews
doing
like
what
you
you're
did,
not
DSP.
saying. I'm defending him because I think it's bullshit that he did get the flack that he did at that time. All right? I think it's really messed up, you know? And he got all these shows that he lost and everything on top of that. He lost a Disney contract. It's like, it's dumb. So I'm sorry. I'm the opposite of what you just said, actually. Okay.
You've hated PewDiePie for years, DSP. Get
Let's see
over it.
here. So from Boy, B-O-I, Boy, they did a $6.66 tip, okay? Boy. My flaming booty. Good Lord, give me a bucket of ice or something. Actually, I don't know if ice would work. Maybe a bucket of water. Or maybe a fire extinguisher. Or maybe just some, I don't know, some Tums or something. But anyway, it says, do you think the God of War series is over now or will it continue? Are you
Tums for
crazy?
stomach
There's
acid.
absolutely, positively no way God of War is over. It is absolutely continuing. The last 2 games were insane bestsellers. There's no way they'll end it there. The story's not done, right? We still got a ways to go in the story. Even though the story of the Norse gods is done, I guarantee you it will continue. You know, Atreus is going to go off and have his own plot. And then you're going to have Kratos possibly. I would say they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to
Honestly,
split it, and so Atreus
gonna
will
go
have his
after
own
Egyptian
games
gods.
while Kratos will have his games continuing. Or you're going to have a split plot line in the next one where they go on their own adventures, but then they end up intersecting later on or something like that. I could definitely
We're
see
going to
that
China
happening.
and
Okay.
face, what's his name? Sun
is it, Jasper
Wokung or
Peter?
something like that.
What is it? He's staring at me. What is it? Okay. I believe I received another tip. Hold on. I just have
I
to check.
think I got a tip,
There were some
guys.
troll
Hint,
tips mixed
hint.
in here today that I'm ignoring. Yep. It's just nonsense. Ignore the nonsense. Okay.
No shout outs. Womp womp.
Jasper Kitty, you must come off me now. You're being silly. Okay. Good stuff. Jade says, I voted I vote for Elden Ring or Zelda, but I love Star Wars. All bugs, we get him sick. He loves Star Wars except for the bugs. I see what you're saying. You know what, Jay? Thank you for reminding me. Shall we check on the poll and see how it's doing? So that poll now has been running for about an hour, right? Well, let's see. Let's see how it's going here. Audio object, you've now been timed out twice. If you bring up drama one more time, I will permanently ban you from the chat. I'm trying to be nice, but that's twice in a fucking row in the stream that you derailed it with drama, which it says right there in the pinned comment. So if you're that dumb, I can't help you. You're going to be out of here. Okay? All right. What an idiot. Okay. How's the poll doing? With 261 votes so far, here's how the poll is going. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, 52% of the vote. Star Wars
Good.
Jedi Survivor, 30% of the vote. And the Elden Ring Glintstone Magic Run, 18% of the vote. So right now, Zelda is far in the lead, which is fine. Because today, like I said, we're doing open world exploration. Maybe by the end of today's stream, we can maybe get on track for one of the major things coming up, which I'm assuming is a dungeon. They said there's 4 of them, correct? So maybe today, we can do a lot of exploration. And maybe by tomorrow, we can actually get to a major dungeon and try out one of the new ones and see what they're like in this game. Because I have no clue what they're like. We'll see. But anyway, this is very early. This is only 1 hour the poll's been running. Please vote if you haven't. Head to the main channel page here of DSP Gaming, the community tab. Only 261 votes. Way more opportunity for people to vote over the course of the next 24 hours. So, well, I guess 23 hours now. So please vote. And we'll see how it goes. It sucks there was no way for me to set that for time. You know, they said that you could do timed polls, but the option's not on there. So I don't know where we're supposed to do it. Okay, hold on one second here.
Stall. I don't want to be Mr. Stall.
Okay, I don't know what that even is, so I'm just going to ignore that. Kozo says, did I call my mom yesterday? Yes, I did. I called my mother. We had an in-depth discussion about all kinds of stuff going on with her and me. You know, nothing too particular would be interesting to you guys. You know, she thought she was actually outside with my dad doing the garden work because she said that it had been ridiculously hot in Connecticut. Or they already had like summer weather, like 90-degree humid weather, which you shouldn't have this early in the year, but they already had it. So she's like, she was out there trying to basically make it as if it were midsummer planting and stuff, which is weird to be doing in May. Yeah, she's doing like garden work and stuff like that, and you know, and nothing too interesting, nothing too crazy going on. You know, wished her happy Mother's Day. She had gotten the card I'd sent. Thankfully, I sent it like 2 weeks ago, and she got it in time because the USPS, which is the United States Postal Service, is atrociously bad these days.
It's
like,
not
literally
atrociously
terrible.
bad.
All
these people talking about, I've not had any issue with it ever. Even during COVID.
Within like a few
Like,
days.
oh no, it took 2 days longer.
She
It's
actually
like,
loved the card.
okay,
Put a nice message in
and
there for her. You know, it was a fun conversation. What are you gonna do? There's nothing too special. There's nothing to really talk about that you guys be interested in. So. No, my parents don't watch my content. They are not interested in gaming at all.
They don't care about you. Good to know.
So they have zero interest in any of my content that I put out. Zero. Lipsian says, in my opinion, you should get as far as possible in Zelda as you can before Final Fantasy 16. You know that's going to be a long, drawn-out game as well. Yeah. No, Ellipsian, I've already been saying this. Being that this game supposedly is 100 hours long, I am worrying about the
But for
playthrough
DSP, it's going to be
already.
200
We're only
hours
7
because
hours
he
into
just
that.
drags
Okay,
everything
we're
on
gonna be
forever.
10 hours in. Because this game is going to take so long to get through, and we already have other lengthy games I'm juggling, and now there's more lengthy games coming up.
Trying to be nice.
And
He'll never
I'll
be
honest,
nice.
I do think more people will want to see me play Final Fantasy 16 versus Zelda. I do feel that. So, once we get to Final Fantasy 16, this game might be forgotten.
300 hours,
And most people
damn.
might even be burnt out and not care about it, you know?
Because
Right
you
now,
take too
I'm
fucking
interested in it.
long.
We just started it. It's exciting, but I don't know how long that's going to be retained. That whole feeling of, you know, oh, it's a new game feel. Once you get to hour 50, you start to lose that. You know what I'm saying? I say start to, but really, in reality, it's kind of like, damn, this playthrough's still going. This is the point I was making yesterday. A lot of people criticized me in the comments. This is only something a content creator feels. Fair enough, but I'm trying to give you my perspective. I'm trying to make content entertaining for an audience. How do I make a playthrough on hour 72 entertaining when it's just more of the same in hour 72? And there's other hot games coming out that people would prepare to see more.
Hot games,
prefer to see more,
guys.
I meant to say, excuse me. It's going to be tough. I'm going to do my best to make the most of it and enjoy it as much as I can. but there's no guarantees here. You know what I mean? That people are gonna like this game enough that they're gonna want to see a 100-hour playthrough, right?
But it won't be 100 hours. It'll be 200 hours.
Inara says the game has 139 side quests and 152 shrines.
I've never been a fan of Zelda after, I think, SNES. Like, I liked it on Game Boy, I liked it on Nintendo, I liked it on Super Nintendo, but then... Oh, which one was it? I played one on GameCube, and I just could not fucking get into it. Then I played another one on Wii, could not get into it, and it's like, yeah, I'm done. Thankfully, I'm not that interested in the new... Oh, actually, I did play Breath of the Wild, because someone else had it on their Switch. I tried, and it's like, okay, whatever. I don't know why, like... It's just something I've never been able to get into.
I'm definitely skipping the optional chests in these dungeons from now on. I'm not wasting a single moment on them.
Guys, why don't I have any items? Well, you
make
skipped all the
progress every time I
side
play this
items.
game, right?
But guys, it takes too long.
Yeesh. Okay. Expand Dog says, maybe as you grow older, it's time to pick and choose your battles. Even more than you already do, because I feel every day it's rush, rush, rush. We're on hour 50. People say it's 120 hours. I agree with you. Expand Dog, I actually agree with you. As ridiculous as your name is, you have a very, very, very valid point. Where when I'm playing a game that I know is going to be an insane undertaking, it has to basically be like the only game like that I'm playing. Because there's no way you can juggle 300-hour games and expect you're going to retain an audience. And especially as I'm getting older, right? People are going to want more variety. Like, for example, I definitely think that people will be very interested in how I cover Street Fighter 6, right? That's going to be a focus. All of a sudden, all the focus on these 100-hour games is going to go away, and people aren't going to really be asking for that anymore. So, I need to be more selective. The problem is, for the longest time, I made my name on being the guy to play every big game, every big release, and people want to see my take on all these games. Already this year, I've skipped a bunch, and people give me shit every game I skip. But it's like, dude, I can't clone myself. I can't make myself play 17 games at once and expect to get any progress in any of them, right?
But you make the schedule.
If I drop a game, oh, you see, Phil quit this one, quit that one. He's such a quitter these days. It's like, so if I don't play games, I get yelled at for not playing them. But if I play them and I can't finish them because there's other stuff going on and I quit, then I get yelled at for not finishing. But then if I continue to play the game, the playthrough's too long and it's boring, why don't I drop it and move on to the hot new game? So you did it wrong, or you did it wrong. You understand? You can't please everyone all the time. And that's the thing I need to do as I get older now, is find a way to balance my content out a bit more so that it's not all the same stuff, but at the same time, I'm at least playing the games that I think I'll find the most entertaining and will be most entertaining to my audience. And that's hard. That's very difficult because I have a variety audience. It's not one group of people watching everything. It's a wide variety of people who come by when they see stuff they like. There's people who are only coming by for Elden Ring. There's people who right now are coming just to watch Zelda. There's people who only do late night chill streams.
But there's people who only show to give you money on every stream.
Wow, he's playing Street Fighter 6. I can't wait to see that. These are all different groups of people that watch my content at different times. It's not just the same group here every day. That's a big difference between me and a lot of other content.
Exactly. He decided to play Oblivion.
It gets tough.
He wasn't playing Oblivion. He had more time for Zelda or Elden Ring. Wait a minute. He didn't need to play Elden Ring again.
Okay, guys.
You could be focusing on 100% on new games.
I want to say thank you.
You could 100% be playing new games right now.
Enjoyed it, and I hope that
nope, he's an idiot.
You got something out of it. Please vote. Please vote on what you want to see this week. Your votes will directly influence the order that I play the games this week, and I'm excited. You know, right now about 250 people voted, but I'm sure we're gonna get way more than that over the course of today, and determine what we'll play tomorrow. But thank you for that. Thanks for chilling. Thanks to those who have supported the stream so far. Thank you to the secret shadow community of detractors, hell bent on my downfall. It's always good to hear updates on them every day. And just thanks in general. All right, let's end the show for now so we can jump into Zelda. But happy spring, everyone. I hope you're keeping cool, staying safe, and keeping those allergies in check. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
No, you'll see them in like 10 seconds when your stream starts.
There we go.
What are you saying? You're going to see them tomorrow. You're going to see them like 10 seconds when your stream starts. Or your gameplay is supposed to start. But wait a minute. There's no gameplay.
Let's swap over now.
It's 3:42 and there's still no gameplay.
And let's get started with the game. But I do have to pee. So let me
We're
just.
gonna take a bathroom break, guys.
And I'm just gonna run to the bathroom for a minute, use the restroom.
It's
quickly.
gonna be 2 hours
And,
before he starts this damn stream.
Here we go. There we are. Is that centered?
Yeah, one of his dents gave him a copy
it's
of
off.
Crisis Core
No,
for
it's
the
centered,
Switch.
right? Or is it
Refuses to
just
play.
oh so slightly off?
Refuses to play it.
I think it is just slightly too big. Hold on. Now is it too small? God damn it. At this point, I don't think I really care. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's fine.
Well, I went from
It's all right.
Atari to Nintendo, Super Nintendo, then it was PlayStation.
yes.
Never looked back.
So thank you guys for the support so
But I
far.
did have modified Xbox.
Let's take a brief break
for a while.
for me to use the restroom. I'm not going to monetize it. It's just going to be a minute for me to run next door, use the bathroom, and come right back. Thank you guys. And again, thank you for the support. Don't know if this streak of support will continue, but thanks to anyone
Hint,
who
hint. I don't know if it's
contributes.
going to
If you
continue.
want to see a
Hint,
hat or a
hint.
vest, I would recommend tipping early so we have time for polls so you can see them longer. But
I
also
should do
other
30
things like
minutes
super chats, memberships would be
ranting
great.
and
We got none
bitching,
of those so far
and then
today.
more time for
Any support
gameplay.
greatly appreciated on today's Zelda
No, that would
stream.
make too much
All right,
work.
Thank you.
Way
Just gonna mute the mic,
too
I'll be right
much
back.
sense. Then he mutes himself so you can't hear him bitching about something. DSP. This is why it takes you so long to play a fucking game. When I do Wolong, you know what I do? Take a couple minutes, try to get everything shared out, make sure everything's working. And then I play the game. I might go through the village, run around a little bit, no, a couple minutes to get people time to show up, but I should start playing the game. Other streamers know they might do a pre-stream, but it'll be 10 minutes of, alright guys, last stream during Wolong, got my ass handed to me by Lubu. Thankfully, able to beat him at the end. God, that was rough. Hopefully the next boss isn't going to be too hard, because I was ready to break my controller. Talk to fans. Oh, guys, the alarm's going off. That means it's been 10 minutes. Let's go. Not DSP. 2 fucking hours. It has now been 2 hours. I just cannot imagine just being this bad at everything. But that's DSP for you. He's entertaining for all the wrong reasons. Always has been, always will be. Something that I love about watching him because he's just bad at everything. Let's listen to the chat. I'm talking about DSP again because it's funny.
That way, yes, it's personal information, but nobody can use it. You can't use a closed bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He
so
didn't have to
there's
do
your
any of
proof.
that. He didn't have to do any of that. We
You're
weren't
right.
asking for bank account numbers. That's
No.
too personal.
You're
He
right.
was
But
asking to
that's what
be
I did.
privately emailed a screenshot of his fucking game. And he didn't want to do that because it would expose your
Say it's not a
family.
podcast,
No,
it's
it
only one
fucking
person.
wouldn't. You dude, shut the fuck up.
Them-
He and then he kept saying like, well, for me to actually prove that this screenshot would be mine, I have to show the linked accounts and show the linked emails. And it's like, Craig did not ask for that. You're conflating this shit in his. How many times has he replayed our interview in his head? Countless. How many times have I replayed it? 0. I don't want to fucking relive that shit. I don't fucking care about DSP. Guaranteed, I'm living rent free in that fucker's head.
You know what I think is really funny is that we didn't really know who DSP was at all. Like Craig wasn't all that familiar with him when you're like, yeah, I'm gonna interview him, and we're like, yeah, who's that? And he thinks that we were the ones to make him out look like a bad guy. Like, dude, we didn't know who the fuck you were.
You're
No,
100%
Craig made a
right.
good point. Craig watched the videos that he asked him to watch.
Mhm.
Here's
Like-
my
like-
side of everything. I
like,
want
we
you to
didn't
watch
make
that.
him out to be
And
a
guess who
bad guy.
watched
He
it?
did to himself.
Craig.
Yeah, there's new side scroll DSP stuff. In fact, here's the full video. That was just a clip posted by Kramer on Twitter. But here's the full video, apparently. 2 hours and 46 minutes. Well, because expand dong is a penis joke, dude. He likes penises, so of course it's not gonna get banned. And apparently during that, Craig showed the emails. It was like, well, DSP is saying this, this, and this. Well, here's the emails proving that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. And like, hey, he's got the evidence. He's able to show it. He's able to show it right then and there on stream. Unlike DSP, who has to hide everything. Thank you for bringing the receipts, though, Craig, because it makes DSP look even more of a POS. Oh, wait. He's always been a POS. But that's why we like to point and laugh. That's why when people say DSP is not entertaining, they're wrong. He is very, very entertaining for all the wrong reasons. Ooh, Sun Chips launches new Monterey Jack, and oh, that sounds delicious. I'll have to get my. I love Sun Chips. My favorite chips are actually the Fritos, chili cheese. Yeah, the Fritos chili cheese, Fritos honey barbecue, and then my next favorite would be the Sun Chips cheese flavor. So they got a new Monterey Jack flavor coming out. Ooh. Yes, DSP is very, very entertaining, just for all the wrong reasons. It's like when you go on stage and you're trying to tell jokes and you're fucking up so badly that the audience isn't laughing with you, they're laughing at you. Like, yeah, you're still entertaining, but you're not entertaining for the right reason. Yeah, you're getting people to laugh, but they're not laughing for the right reason. They're laughing because you went up there and you fucked up your whole set or something. Although a good comedian can recover from that. A good comedian will be like, oh no, I screwed up. All right, well, let's try this instead. Let me say that instead. So they go up there and they screw up the punchline and be like, wait a minute, that's not the punchline. Wow, you guys would never know that I'm a professional who gets paid to do this, would you? Actually, the punchline is this. Like, that's happened before, I'm sure. Throughout history, you're going to tell me Richard Pryor never messed up a joke? You're going to tell me George Carlin never messed up a joke? Tell me Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy or Dave Chappelle or Jimmy Carr? You're going to tell me that none of them have ever messed up a joke?
Did you guys see this? Did you see Jasper
He's
steal
back.
my seat when I was gone? Did you see this? He's in the chair. How dare you,
Good for
Jasper?
Jasper.
Kitty? How
You're going
could
to tell me
you?
that none of these comedians
How could
never
you steal
went,
my
oh
seat?
shit, I had a little bit too
I
much
want to play
Coke
Zelda.
before this set. I had a little bit too much to drink
You
before
were
this
watching
set.
Zelda today, and you're stolen.
Sorry guys, my mind's a little dragging right now. Lag.
Oh my goodness.
Like, that's, I'm sure it's happened before.
He wants to fight. I'm gonna box him.
I was knows what happens with DSP, but ooh, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has 53% of the votes.
In a round of boxing,
With
and then he'll leave the
312
seat.
votes in already.
All right, here we go. I missed a gifted membership. Oh, I wasn't here for it. I will shout it out. Okay, here we go. Box Jasper Kitty. Okay. All right, Jasper. You gotta move. He knows when I go to sit down, he moves. Okay. We have a few shout outs to do. So first of all, you're absolutely correct. He's licking my toes. Don't lick my toes. That's disgusting. Ah! He's licking
Put
the
some
toes.
shoes
Won't
on,
stop.
DSP. That's gross.
Dex gifted a membership to Lavinia. Congratulations, Lavinia, on the gifted membership. And thank
Yeah,
you, Dex, for
comedians
supporting the
totally don't do
community.
drugs.
Thank you, thank you. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. 621
tell that
members.
to Chris
now.
Farley.
Excellent. Now, some tips came in during the break. Hold on. First of all, there was a no. You're not going to chew the wire. Absolutely not.
Chew the
Jasper
wire.
Kitty. Do not chew
Take
the
out
wire.
the
Don't
new
upset me.
card.
Okay. I received a $10 tip from an anonymous tipper. Says, I would just focus on completing Zelda's story. Jump back for full exploration at a better time. Well, I think the thing is at this point, you have to explore. Like, the game gave me 4 general areas to move to. So I will move towards those areas for sure. But I don't actually know, like, exactly if that's where the dungeons are or if that's where there's more stories going to unfold. So we'll do that today. It's the first open world. We'll start heading in those directions and we'll see where the game takes us. Okay, thank you for the $10 tip, anonymous tipper. Then I received a, let's see here, a $1.50 tip from, there's another anonymous tipper. Here's a little tip. I would recommend exploring to the west from Lookout Landing. You'll find a character that expands your inventory and also leads to eventually one of the 4 major areas in dungeons. Okay, we're actually right near a tower that's going to give us a new map. So let's do the tower. And then I think we should maybe head west like you suggested. Okay, but the tower, like, we're standing right in front of it. And I'm like, dude, we should totally just do the tower. So we'll probably do that first, and then we'll see. But I thank you for the recommendation.
Well, gee, it's only been 2
all right,
hours
let's
and
see,
8 minutes since the stream started. We still don't have gameplay.
I received a $30 tip from Jinx. And Jinx says he's not going to be around talking too much today because he is working. He'll just be lurking around. But, of course, as we talked about on today's podcast, it's funny how there's people who have 100 different
no one else
theories
talked about
who
it.
he
You're the
is,
one
and,
talking here.
you know, he's going to do this. He's this detractor. He's that person from the past. Yeah, I know. I know. And it's par for the course. It really is par for the course with these people. How they think and how they act is just, it's pretty crazy. That's why I'm joking about it. It's obviously, it's to the point where you have to laugh about how silly the nonsense is of the stuff that they say and do. All right. So thank you, Jinx, for a $30 tip. And with that tip, that gets us up to $119. Okay. So that means we have a hat for today. And we should do a hat poll before we get started.
Congratulations, guys. We've already reached a hat goal. Don't you guys want to see the vest? The only vest people want to see is the platinum one because it makes you look like a baked potato.
Which
and so you don't want to wear it.
Is Zelda best? Let's see.
Oh, they all suck. Where's the Nazi hat?
So let's see, man.
Red
What
fedora
hats
just
haven't we
because
done?
it's terrible.
Let's reset. Let's hit the reset button because we've done so many hats recently. We should kind of reset them all now. So let's do the Los Santos cap. Let's do the beret. Let's do the red fedora. We'll go back to the hats we were wearing at the beginning of the week. We just wore Bender. We just wore the Pilot Bison hat. You know what we didn't wear?
It's only been 2 hours and 10 minutes.
We haven't
Still
worn
no
that. So
gameplay.
Los Santos cap, beret, red fedora, or the straw hat. There
Still no
you go.
gameplay.
Those will be the hats in the running for today. And thank you guys. I gotta get my gunner glasses back on. Let me just get my air conditioner turned down a little bit because it's actually getting cold in here now. Okay, and let's get the headphones. Jasper, do not attack the headphones. I will be very upset if you do. Oh, hold on. Dex has gifted another membership. This one went to John. Congratulations, John, and thank you, Dex, for another gifted membership for the community. Thank you, thank you. All right. So now we're up to 622 and climbing. Thank you, Dex. Dex, are you trying to give one to a specific person? Because sadly, YouTube, you can't do that on YouTube.
You
might
can't
have a
do
chance to get
that.
the person you have in mind, but
Just
usually it's going to go to someone
does it
random.
randomly.
Typically someone who actually is, you know, a regular of the stream, though, which is good. Okay,
we've caught up.
Bushido Bear, we're just joking. Trust me. This is not us being serious about any nonsense here. We're just joking around. You know, there's a difference between taking this shit seriously and giving it attention versus just kind of joking out how stupid it is and then moving on with the day, which is exactly what we're doing.
2 hours
Here we
and
go.
11 minutes so far.
Smoke signals. You find someone at a plume of smoke, it says. Interesting.
I was playing
No
Diablo
plume of
2
water,
earlier. I
Jasper.
might go back to that once the stream's
Okay.
over.
Let's resume. Here we go, guys.
Right?
Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So this is officially my 4th stream of the game, heading into hour 8 of gameplay. And as we're exploring,
Congratulations.
we were just kind of coming
the character
across
moves after
a
2
tower,
hours
I was like,
and
well,
12
these towers are going to be very
minutes.
important, right, to get the map unlocked. So if we can, I want to see if we can do this tower, but I'm not exactly sure how you enter it. Maybe you have to go from the other direction. I think we should unlock this tower and then see where we want to head, like what direction next, because we are officially in the open world of the game now. I guess this is how we
2
do it. We have to go up
hours
this
and
ramp here.
12 minutes it took for him to get to the
Man, it
gameplay.
is pouring rain in the game. I did not realize the game would have, you know, full atmospheric effects like this. It's kind of interesting. Already we can see another tower out in the distance there. It's nice how they stand out. Oh, shit. A sturdy wooden stick? I had those before, no? I thought I had a sturdy wooden stick before. I guess not. By the way, what oh, I'm using a 14 damage stake hammer. Oh, interesting. Well, I'm just gonna skip this.
Ah ha 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 ha. DSP, you
Wow.
suck.
Okay. No, I was not expecting to instantly die from an area of effect explosion that wasn't even near me. I mean, that was pretty ridiculous, no?
Well, that's
I
why
guess
it's
that's an
area of
indicator that
effect.
I
It doesn't
shouldn't
have
be
to
in this
be
area.
right on top of you. It's area
Yeah.
of effect.
If I literally lost 100% of my life. I mean, I guess I could try one more time. But if that happens again, I think I'm out of here, right? Darzyx says, have you tried your amiibo yet? I have not. Because the amiibo was not working previous. Do we have that on the amiibo? Amiibo enabled. So how would I do it? That's not it. How do you do the amiibos in this one?
Stall, stall, stall.
I have it, but I don't know.
Anticipation, dude.
How do you do them in this one?
Chat, tell me what
Left
to do.
bumper?
I can't take 10 seconds to Google.
Or left bumper? What? Hold right bumper. No? No? Should be in your powers wheel. Okay. Holy crap! Look at all this! Raw meat! Raw prime meat!
I'm gonna have to cook it, dude.
Raw gourmet meat! I was not expecting to scan my Twilight Princess HD amiibo of Lincoln Midna and get a bunch of meat. How does that even make sense? I don't know, but it worked. That's kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie. That's the only amiibo I got. Alright.
Yeah, Remy's super effective for his gout.
I received a $5 tip.
His dad is Dave.
From
He used to work at
Beaver
the helicopter
Bother, can
company
I
and then he
get
retired.
I ordered a pair of Yeezys for you. How should I email them to you? I'm pretty sure you cannot email sneakers. If you want to get unbanned, you got to email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com like everyone else has always done with your information so I could look into it. But you were acting like an asshole yesterday, which is why you're not here. You know? You gotta
Wow.
act, you know,
So grateful
normal
for someone buying him
and
shoes.
not be a jerk to me or others. And you were being a jerk yesterday, which is why you're not here today. You know. But if you apologize and change, then maybe I'll let you back. Okay. So, maybe I should just skip all the enemies. Because I died instantly, and that wasn't cool.
Wow, this would be so exciting watching him just run by every enemy.
How the hell did he hit me? Are you kidding?
Might want to run there, DSP, before he hits you again.
All the enemies are super fast. They instantly kill you or do like 90% damage, so I can't do this now. Yeah. So I guess this is for later.
What a bitch.
Which is stupid because it's right at the entrance, right at the beginning of the game. Right?
Alright, that's enough watching him suck at life. I want to get back to Diablo 2 and watch more of Heaven's Lost Property. Although I might watch that Superhero Legion thing, whatever that's on HBO Max instead. Although I want to get through that fucking... Like, the show is not good. It's like, the first episode made it look promising. Every episode after that has just not been good. I want to try to get through it as fast as possible. Well, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have one hell of a day, because I know I sure did. Glad I got to do this. Glad I got to point and laugh at him, even after I had a couple technical issues to figure out. Got it all working. Hope you guys have a good day.